Knicks family, what's poppin'? As usual, it's your boy, and we're here to talk New York Knicks. Let's rock. What's poppin', people? Hope y'all had a good weekend, good rest of your weekend, but we back. Just watched the Cleveland Cavaliers put it to the Boston Celtics. And the series is back on now. I mean, obviously the Boston Celtics still have home court advantage. But, hey, man, Cleveland, LeBron James, it's not going to go easy. And looking at that, it could be scary for the Boston Celtics, B. It could be scary for the Celtics. Now you gave the Cavaliers confidence back. After you snatched some confidence and you built your confidence, you gave them some confidence back. Maybe you lost a little bit of confidence. Maybe you're not as confident now that you can beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. The series is on. And series is on, man. And I picked Cleveland. I thought Cleveland was going to win in 7. I still think Cleveland's going to win in 7. You know, if Boston would have won this game, then you know what? I would have just admitted that my prediction was wrong. But I think Cleveland's going to take it. I just don't think that Boston has enough oomph without Kyrie there. You know what I mean? I think that they need Kyrie to have that oomph. You got LeBron James with the Cavaliers, and I think that he gives them that extra nudge, that he gives the Cavs that extra nudge that the Celtics just don't have right now because of injuries, obviously. If Kyrie was there, I think it'd be over. You know what I mean? It'd be over. Now, I'm not going to say that Boston can't win this series. I'm not going to say that at all. I think Boston still can definitely win this series. I think they can still win this series. They play tough. They've had trouble away from home against tough teams in the playoffs. But they go back home, and if they can take care of home court, they'll be okay. That's about it. That's all they need to do is take care of home court. Now, that could always be easier said than done, right? It can be easier said than done to take care of home court when you're playing against the Cavs, when you're playing against LeBron James. Listen, I don't like LeBron James, but I got to give respect where respect is due. You know? So, the Celtics got their work cut out for them. Cavs do as well, but the Celtics got their work cut out for them. We'll see if, we'll see what they're made of right now. We'll see what they're going to do. But let's talk about the Knicks. Right, let's talk about these New York Knicks. Not much news today, but enough news that we have something to talk about, right? And clearly, news came out today that the Knicks actually have the hots for Trae Young. Let's take a look at it. The Knicks. And I'm going to pull up, there's any number of articles out there that talk about how the Knicks have the hots for Trae Young. Information coming in from the Combine. I'm going to look at the Ringer. We'll bring up the Ringer. There's Trae Young right there. You got the highlights from him. Trae Young going to work. Okay. But let's take a look at the Ringer. And bring this over here. Watch out, Trae Young. Is New York calling? Earlier this week, Trae Young's father, Ray, told the New York Daily News that New York is a desirable destination for his son because of the spotlight its big market creates. That's what Trae lives for, Ray said of his son, who interviewed with New York on Friday. Multiple league sources told me that the Knicks have the hots for the Oklahoma point guard. So the New York interest is mutual. My question here is, and I know what a lot of you feel about Trae Young. My question is, do you do it? Are the Knicks really that hot for Trae Young? And if so, are they hot for Trae Young because they want to match him with Ntilikina? Are they hot for Trae Young because they want to have that type of duo that Utah is currently displaying with Donovan Mitchell and Ricky Rubio? I mean, it's natural that could happen. Trae Young is so small. His measurements weren't too impressive at the combine, But measurements can't make up for heart. I'll say that. They can't make up for heart. If you can ball, you can ball. Although, like I've said before, and I've said it plenty of times over and over again, I prefer longer guards, bigger guards that are still quick, can still penetrate. You know what I'm saying? But it does not mean that the kid can't play. It may not be a good player in the NBA. I mean, according to Trae Young, he's the best player in the draft, and he wants to be the best player in the NBA, and he wants to prove that he can be the best player in the NBA. Maybe he will. Maybe he will. We've seen people compare him to Steph Curry because of his style of play. My problem there is obviously there's a size difference, right? There's a big size difference between not a big size difference, but a significant size difference. 2 inches in the NBA is a lot. 2 inches means a lot in the NBA. I mean, that's a difference of, 6'4", 6'2". You're talking about a few inches in arm length as well. That means a lot. That means a lot. Doesn't mean small guys can't ball, but it definitely means a lot. Is Trae Young really the guy that you want? Is he the guy that's going to how do I want to say it? Is he I guess they don't want him to be a distributing guard. I guess they want him to attack. They want to be able to use his skills the same way that Utah is using Donovan Mitchell. Is that the wrong philosophy? If that's what they're looking for, if that's what Scott Perry and Fizdale if that's what they're looking for, is that the wrong philosophy? Is it the right philosophy? What's your take on it? How do you feel about Trae Young? I haven't really been looking at the chat. I see Joey, you say Trae Young is Isaiah Thomas. I don't know if he's Isaiah Thomas. Obviously, he's bigger than Isaiah Thomas. A lot bigger than Isaiah Thomas. At least, 5 inches bigger than Isaiah Thomas. That's a lot in the NBA. How old is he? 19 years old, maybe? Is he 19 years old? I'm not sure of his age. So he may still have time to grow. I don't know. I think I got my Skype fixed. I want you guys to give me a call. And talk to me a little bit. I want to get the phone calls going a little bit early tonight because, we had some of those discrepancies in the last show. So I'd like to get you guys on early and talk to me a little bit about, what you think about Trae Young, and maybe later on in the show, we'll continue our debate about KP and Cat. I know it's been going on for a couple of days, and I know some people didn't get a chance to call in and probably want to call in. So I'm opening it up early for you guys. Want to hear what you guys got to say. And I got my first call. My man, Isaiah, what's popping, bro?
What's going on, man? I couldn't video chat you. I just left the gym, so I'm driving.
That's
I got
cool.
you on Bluetooth.
That's cool.
Couldn't video chat.
That's cool.
What's going on?
I'm good, man.
To the chat.
So what's your take on Trae Young? What do you think? How you feeling about it?
We got Frank. We got Frank. I love the New York media, man. Listen, man, I'm a believer in Scott Perry and Steve Mills. If they ain't say it, I can't believe it now, kind of, in a sense. I like Trae Young. I particularly don't think what he did at Oklahoma is going to translate to the NBA.
Okay.
I could be completely wrong, but I got faith in Frank. I believe that he's the point guard of our future. Okay. He has a whole bunch of potential that's untapped that once, you get the right coach with him, I believe Fizdale, I think he's going to be good. But I don't see Trae Young going past Magic or the Cavs. If he goes that far, I don't even see him going close to us.
Okay.
Because I just can't see the Magic missing out because they both need point guards bad. So I can't see him going past us. But I'm not a big believer in Trae Young. I'm just not.
Okay. Now, what about the whole like Jeffrey is saying in the chat right now?
What
he's saying talent acquisition. Right now, we just want to acquire talent. No matter the position, no matter who it is, we want to acquire talent and sort it out later. How do you feel about that?
When I hear Scott Perry say that, how can I describe it? Everybody knows what we need. It's no big secret on what we need.
Right.
You know what I mean? We all know we need a 3. We all know it.
That's the truth. Scott Perry knows it as well. He's already said it. Scott Perry knows it as well.
So it is. If Trae Young or Mikal Bridges is on the board, I'm not going to lie to you. Scott's going to go with Mikal. I really believe that. Or if Michael Porter Jr. is on, then I know for a fact he's going to get Michael Porter Jr.
Okay.
If he's, so, because, Scott Perry said it, he wants two-way players, and no respect to Trae Young, but it's the same thing with Trey Burke. Even though Trey Burke tries, and I actually see Trey play defense, but it's just his height. You know what I'm saying? It's just the simple rules of the game. They're small. They're small guards, and defense is hard for them to do. It's hard to go against 6'4", 6'5" point guards. And now the way the NBA is going positionless, now guarding 2 guards that are 6'6", 6'7". You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's hard. Defense in college, it's really tough for him to play defense in the NBA.
You know what? I agree with you there. He it may be tough for him on the defensive end in the NBA. I agree with you, but my whole thing, I'm just asking about the talent acquisition stuff because that's what Scott Perry says he's on right now. He's on this talent acquisition. He wants to acquire talent no matter what position it is. Right.
Yeah.
So that you can make trades later, right? You can make different moves later on. And if that's the case, if Trae Young is the best talent available, do you take him, knowing that it's possible If he doesn't fit, if he can't play defense the way you want him to play defense, if he doesn't do the things that you want him to do, you can move him.
Yeah,
and because of his, his who he is, right? Because of his name, it's a little bit easier to move a guy like that has, so much potential. He has a lot of name recognition. You can, especially if you're talking about, your first year, his rookie year, you can move a guy like that and you can get something back in return. I think that's what this whole thing about when you talk about talent acquisition, that's what it's all about to me.
Yeah.
Right? To me, that's what it's all about. Pulling in talent so that you can make moves later on. Similar to what that's what Boston did, right? They brought in talent so that they can make moves later on. Trae Young's his measurements from the combine. All right, height without shoes, 6.5 feet. That's without shoes. His wingspan is 6'3". I mean, that's small. Standing reach, 7'11.5". That's just standing straight up. They're not impressive. They're not impressive, but they can't measure heart. That's the one thing, they can't measure heart.
Hey, that's true. But what's scared about Sim? Sim, what if he becomes like an AI or a
like an AI?
That would scare me, Sim. Because even you said it before. When AI was in Denver, they didn't do nothing.
Right.
And that's one of the greatest gifts and curse of AI. He was so great that he got in his way, and that's the same thing that happens with Russell Westbrook.
Right.
Because you see that he had the heart, but did he make his teammates?
Right. But I feel like that's the reason why you would have. I'm not advocating for Trae Young. I want a wing. I want a long wing. That's what I want. But that's the reason you would have Frank there, so that Frank can be that distributor. Frank can be the guy that like I said, like I spoke about earlier, a long time ago with Carmelo Anthony. Allen Iverson went with Carmelo Anthony to Denver, and they weren't able to do anything. As soon as Chauncey Billups got there, they were able to, they made it to the Western Conference Finals, right? Because of the kind of leader that Chauncey Billups was, the kind of floor leader, floor general. I think that having, Frank Ntilikina then becomes your floor general, while Trae Young doesn't have those responsibilities and he can just attack. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but hey, Isaiah, man, thank you for the call. I know I got some people that want to call in because my Skype messed up in the last episode. So I know I got some people that want to call in and probably give me the business about this whole thing I brought up with KP and Cat.
Sim, I'm gonna say it real quick, Sim, because I agree with you almost 100% of the time. But come on now, KP was dominating. KP was dominating. You was a little bit bugging for that.
Wait a minute. He was dominating for a time until defenses figured out what they were doing, and then he couldn't do anything. Then he couldn't do anything. He got to the second half of the season and he was average. I mean, he went on a dry spell. He couldn't hoop. It was like he didn't have what?
You get the same thing about when Jimmy broke down. They didn't really they went from the 4th seed to having to play the last to make it into the conference final. So I mean, Cat wasn't dominating then.
Listen. Cat for the season averaged 1 less point than KP, 5 more rebounds on a team that was way better than the New York Knicks. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I hear you. Hey, listen, man.
You know,
I
mean, KP to be 7'3", he's got to give me more than 6 rebounds a game. Listen, I love KP. I'm not saying anything against him. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying that he's not going to be one of the great players in the league. He may not. I just don't think he's as good as Cat. Not right now. But hey,
you will see.
Hey, I got some people calling in. Thank you for the call. Let me get this next call, Isaiah. Peace, bro.
Right,
Peace.
Good one.
My man Tony Crow, what's poppin', bro? I couldn't get you on in the last call.
No doubt. Shout out to
the chat. I don't even know what happened. I don't know what happened. Skype, maybe they just said, "Hey, man, we giving you enough minutes." Who knows? I don't know. So what's your take on Trae Young, man?
Hold up. Let me get back to Trae Young. Let me start off with the whole case.
Look. People want to chime in and get on, and they want to get at me, y'all. They want to get at me about KP.
I'll be honest with you, man. I understand everything you said, and I don't agree, but I ain't gonna kill you for it because I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what I'm gonna say on that. I think Towns is closer to his ceiling right now. KP still has a ton of untapped potential.
Okay, I can accept that. I can definitely accept that. That's the best explanation that I've heard. That's definitely the best explanation that I've heard between the two. That Towns is closer to his ceiling than KP. That's the best explanation I've heard.
That's the best thing I could think of. It's, you know what I mean? Because I understand exactly what you mean. Like I can argue if I wanted to. I could argue Towns is better, or I could, or people argue it, and they're partially right. But I think KP just has a ton of untapped potential. If you go back to his rookie year, he literally improved game by game. Had a bad game in one area, the next game he would dominate or improve tremendously in that same area. That's also why I said KP kind of took a step back his second year. A lot of people killed me for it because his numbers improved, but I didn't see that same constant improvement on a game by game.
Okay.
But
now even with the injury,
I mean that opens it up. That opens it up a little bit more too. The current situation opens it up a little bit more too with him, not congratulating the coach publicly or whatever. And I mean, I'm not gonna kill KP for working out with Real Madrid or Latvia or whatever, because he's working out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So
you got to go with people you trust. You got to go with people you trust.
And honestly, I was more mad at the media for labeling it as secretly working out. You know what I mean? For no apparent reason. Like, why is it a secret? Well, who said it's a secret? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you found out some type of way. You're gonna think the organization don't know what's going on.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? But,
now, would you be mad? Would you be upset if
I wouldn't.
The Knicks traded KP for Cat?
No, I wouldn't be upset because I'm a Knicks fan and I'm a root for it. But I would just hope KP doesn't reach his, as sad as it sounds, I'm gonna hope KP don't reach his full potential. That's about it, down the line.
Yeah,
I hate losing. I feel like the Knicks. I can't really think of too many trades the Knicks have won in their history. So, you know what I mean? I want to win it. I want to win a trade.
Okay.
So
it's a tough debate. I think Knicks fandom is split on this issue, and it's probably not even going to come.
KP's attitude and and the surrounding issues, I don't think it's KP's talent that people are doubting. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a lack or a dislike of KP's game. I think it's just the turmoil, the media, and I think it's more of that than his diva ways or whatever. Which I don't think he's done anything like super crazy. The biggest thing to me was him missing the exit meeting because that was just unprofessional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But other than that, I mean, I really have no complaints with KP.
No,
Come
I don't
back
have too
strong.
many complaints with. I do not like that he missed the exit meeting. I like you said, I think that was unprofessional. But he's young, and his family, they're young in the game, in the NBA game. You know what I mean? So I think that was a mistake. That was a mishap, because the best way to send a message is to show up and say, this is what I do not like. This is what I would like to see. That's the best way to send a message. Not showing up, to me, just kind of shows immaturity, But he's a young kid, so you got to expect that.
Agree 100%. Let me touch on Trae Young real quick. Pause. Trae Young. I like Trae Young all season. I definitely had the reminiscence of Steph Curry. But I have more doubts on Young than a lot of other players. Like, if we were lower in the draft, if we was like 15, then I'd be like, oh yeah, for sure. If he's there,
Right.
But I think the combination of need and talent is more important than him, and I'm gonna tell you why. Before I tell you why I don't like him, let me just credit his assist ability and say that is an attribute that I would definitely cherish it if we did draft him. But I'm scared because we've seen him before. We've seen the Adam Morrisons, we've seen the Jimmer Fredettes who led the NCAA in points. And come into the NBA and their games don't translate.
Right.
And that's scary. With his comparison to Steph, Steph had that same defense geared towards him that Trae Young started getting midway through the season and to the end, and Steph continued to put up Steph numbers in Davidson.
Right.
Young did not.
Okay.
And it's going to be harder for him in the NBA. So even if Trae Young reaches his full potential, it's not going to be next year. Think about how long it took Steph to reach Steph's potential.
To be Steph, right.
And that's a hope dream of a ceiling for him. And then look at almost every point guard in the NBA coming out of college. It takes years to develop. You look at a Drew Holiday and what he did this year. Granted, he's been injured a lot and so forth, but this was his best year. This is what people have seen in him for 4 or 5 years now. It takes time with point guards. I don't know look at Burke.
Right.
He just started to show his signs 4 years later. Now, point guard, if you ask anybody, point guard is the hardest position to learn in the NBA.
Definitely.
And it's very, very rare that a point guard comes in and just dominates. And the ones that we see are almost freaks of nature, like big point guards like Ben Simmons and Alonzo, where their height contributes to their dominance at that position.
So, right. And Ben Simmons,
redshirted.
He basically redshirted. He's not a true rookie. I don't care what anyone says, man. When
you learn,
you get drafted and you're now in the NBA, right? And just because you don't play that first year, you're just not a real rookie to me, because you have access to
I agree.
trainers. You have access to the best facilities around. You still get a chance to scrimmage every day if you're able to, or work or do something with other NBA players. You can travel with the team and see what it's like on the road. All those things you get to experience where a first-year rookie is playing and experiencing everything new. It's different. It's totally different.
Absolutely. I mean, you could go. Excuse me. You could go as simple as a fan and watching the game on TV and sitting at the in the arena and watching the game and the little differences of what you might pick up and see. So imagine just sitting courtside with your teammates and picking their brains and
exactly.
You know what I mean? So absolutely are not I don't believe in that.
Right.
Second year rookie and I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
I think you should use your rights to even win rookie of the year because you picked up you should have picked up a lot.
Exactly. You pick up a whole lot from coaches to players and mentors and all kinds of stuff. You pick up a lot of information.
I honestly think the Trae Young thing is a smoke screen.
Okay. I see a lot of people saying that.
I think maybe they're hoping to like you know how they praised Curry and then he got drafted earlier. I think they're actually banking on maybe playing some chess and having him off the board and somebody sliding for them.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I agree with you with the whole talent acquisition thing as well. It's not necessarily about getting a guy and keeping a guy. There's a whole lot of chess moves you could play. Even if that's not the guy you want, you may know that's the guy somebody under you definitely wants.
Right.
And
exactly.
you may be able to something out that way. It's 1,000 to happen.
Right.
And I agree with acquiring talent. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that whole thing. Shout out to the chat. Your Black is Time. Sim, keep doing your thing.
For sure, man. Yeah, I got somebody else calling in. All right, man. Peace, man. Yeah, so we got a civil war going on right now between clearly the KP keepers and the well, we're all KP keepers. Let me not say the KP keepers. Let me say in this debate on if we should or should not, or if we would or would not trade KP for Cat. You know, we got a civil war going on in Knicks Nation or Knicks fandom or whatever you want to call it. You know, but it's a good debate. And one thing I'll say is it's good to have a player that's worthy of the debate. You know what I mean? My man Rafi.
Yo,
what's up, man? What's popping?
Not a lot, obviously late, but I had to stay up for the show. Obviously, again, was watching the Cavs match as well. Shout out to the chat.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're talking about Trae Young, right?
Talk about Trae Young, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm hearing that the Knicks might want. I mean, I'm not hearing, but I'm hearing Memphis are trying to give up their 4th pick. So if somehow the Knicks get that 4th pick and pick Trae Young, I wouldn't be happy because there's 6 players that I would take before Trae Young. Obviously, I know not all of them are going to be left there. Let me just say them quickly. Ayton, Doncic, Bagley, Michael Porter Jr., Jaren Jackson, Bamba, and Wendell Carter. Those you have to take before Trae Young, especially if we're doing this this talent acquisition thing. We have to take those players before because they have high upside, in my opinion. But Trae Young, one thing people have to remember is it's not just that he's a scorer. His vision is like really good. People like you can't teach that. That's a skill that you can't teach. So people need to bear that in mind. And I feel like his mindset is on. Like, I feel like he really he wants to prove himself. Like more than any of the draft players that I've seen so far, he's the one player that I'm seeing that really, really wants to prove himself. So people need to. You can't underestimate that. That is a big thing, especially in New York as well.
Okay.
He wants that. He really
Okay.
has that.
So you're saying he has the heart. He has the heart that other players may not have in the league right now, or in a draft. He has the heart to really prove himself.
From what I see, yeah.
Okay. And so that's your
and he's
argument on why we would want to draft Trae Young.
Not ahead of those people though. Those people,
Oh,
especially
not ahead of those. Okay.
because Wendell Carter Jr. Like he's gonna. I think he will be something special. Something special as well. And that's a play that we'll need as well. Because especially if Cantor leaves, that's a play I think we'll need as well. But if I don't know if you've been hearing about the Memphis one. If we do get that Memphis pick, we have. I'm hearing that Hawks and Kings don't want to pick. They want to pick front court players. So maybe Doncic might fall there. So if we can get Doncic, oh my God, you know how the Euro team. Before Willie Hernan Gomez, Kuzminskas, everyone left. Now it's not really a Euro team. That will be the Euro team, and I'm telling you, Doncic is going to be special as well. He's the youngest MVP in EuroLeague history. Like he's just got everything, and he could pass the ball. He could do a lot of things as well. So if we can get that 4th pick, Doncic, we need to get that guy because I'm telling you, he'll be something special as well.
Yeah, I mean, we would definitely need to move up to 4 to even have a chance. He's not going. I don't think he goes past 3.
But I heard that they don't. Those two teams don't want to pick any front court players at all. I mean, they want to pick front court players. And I'm sorry. What else is there? I don't believe that. But to be honest, I don't really believe that Scott Perry would want Trae Young because it's too much of a big risk, and he knows that one move. Like it has a lot of potential to fail, and that could cost his job. As you were saying in the last podcast, in the last show, like one move could derail your whole career as a front office person, and you might not even get a job. So I think he's gonna have that in mind. It might be a smoke screen to get another player, maybe Wendell Carter Jr. So, but I wouldn't be upset again with Trae Young because he might be something special as well. But yeah, that's what I really got.
All right, Rafi. Hey, thank you for the call as always, man.
Yeah, it's nice talking to
I
you.
always appreciate you staying up, or getting up early in the morning, or whatever it is you got to do.
I stay up. If I don't like now, I'm gonna go to bed and then I'm gonna watch the rest of the show.
Okay.
Tomorrow morning, so that's why that's my whole plan all the time anyway. So yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. All right.
Appreciate it, man. Well, get your rest, and whenever I see you call in, man, I'll make sure I get you on for sure.
My brother, man. Safe, man. Thank you.
All right. Peace, man.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
And I want to give a big shout out to Siobhan Robinson for the super chat. Siobhan said, what if they draft the best available at 9 and then trade with Philadelphia for number 10? They're looking for a shooting guard so we can offer Tim Hardaway Jr. with his now $56 million contract. The only thing that you know what I mean. I think that's actually a great idea. I don't know. It would work. It would work. So are you saying that we would ask them to eat Tim Hardaway's contract, right? Because they're about to have a hole at shooting guard over the summer. Tim Hardaway would fit right in there. That they're paying JJ Redick $20 million a year. Tim Hardaway makes $17 million a year. So you're saying we just get rid of Tim Hardaway's contract. We have Philadelphia take Tim Hardaway off of our hands to fill that role for JJ Redick. That's what it sounds like you're saying to me. Now, if that were to happen, JJ Redick, his contract really isn't up until June 30th. They would have to make this trade. They would have to come to an agreement to make the trade after June 30th if it were to happen. But hey, if that did happen, then we'd have some money in free agency. We'd have about $17 million. I'm really interested. I haven't heard Scott Perry talk about Tim Hardaway Jr. that much. I'd really like to know what he thinks about Tim Hardaway Jr. I haven't heard him, say too much. Ron Martinez, what's going on with you, bro?
What's good, man? Shout out to the chat. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, bro. I want to make sure because I'm in my car using my Bluetooth, so I wasn't sure if you can hear me or not.
Yep.
So quick question. This kid, because I know right now that we're talking about these trades they're trying to make, and this kid Trae Young, this guy Sexton. I was watching the other day Jay Whelan saying that he believes that Sexton it could be a combination of Eric Bledsoe and Westbrook and maybe Donovan Mitchell. He said he has that. He's in that ballpark, like combination type of guy. If we get Sexton, because I know too much. I mean, I would take from what I'm seeing. I think I will go with Sexton before I go with Trae Young, but and I guess because of the position that we're in right now, we need all the talent we can get.
Yeah. Right.
So I don't think we could be and we can't be too picky. And it's one of those situations like it goes. I think we discussed this before. It's like, what's the blueprint right now? Are we trying to build our backcourt, or are we trying to build our front court? Because right now, like you said in the last show, Kristaps is not considered. I mean, he's injury prone. He's not as durable as for now. He's not. You know what I'm saying? If guys are pushing him out the box, so we can't be soft up front and soft in the backcourt. I mean, we have to start somewhere.
Right.
Yeah. And when I heard them talking about Trae Young, I heard them saying that possibly that if they had the hots for Trae Young, maybe move Frank to the two guard. But I don't. Do you see Frank as a two guard?
I do not see Frank as a two guard at all. I do not know where people keep getting this information from. You can't. How do you have a shooting guard that doesn't want to shoot the ball? Right.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, we have a problem scoring, so why would you put him at a two guard? It makes no sense.
Right. He naturally wants to distribute the ball. He's good at distributing the ball. Right? He can get his handle a little bit better, and that's gonna come with time as he gets stronger and he develops more. He naturally looks to get people involved. Like Jeff Hornacek said at the beginning of the season, he just seems to know who to get the ball to at the right time. Or when somebody hasn't had a shot in a while, let's get the ball to this person.
Right.
If you have someone who has those abilities, why would you not want to play him at point guard? That's what a point guard is supposed to be.
Right. Now on defense, I can see on defense you putting him on if the other team the best player is a two guard, then you see on defense you switch up. Yeah, you put Frank on that guy because he's going to be a better defender obviously than Trae Young or whoever they draft. But I don't see how he could be a two guard. And also I heard them probably saying, well, maybe we can get Tim Hardaway to be a two guard. But I think one of those things that they have to figure out, and also this thing with Fizdale, is it true? I heard that. There was a rumor. I think they asked him. I think they asked him this question in a press conference that he has a thing with. He's not crazy about Euro players. Is that any truth to that?
I don't know. I guess he made some kind of statement in the past, but when they asked him, he said he wants any kind of player. He doesn't care where they're from. Of course, he's going to say that right now, but
there was a rumor kind of around about that. I wasn't too sure that was something that statement he made before, and they brought it up again.
Yeah,
He wasn't right now, I mean, I think our backcourt. We need to fix. First of all, we have to straighten out our backcourt. Is Trey Burke? Is he coming off the bench? Is he going to be a bench player? Then fine, okay. Then we need to work on our backcourt. I mean, but right now, you got to get the best player available because you look at the league right now. No matter how good your defense is, you're going to play the best teams and the top teams in the East and the West, especially the West. You got to be able to pull the ball in the hoop.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
And right now, I don't see the Knicks. How the Knicks could be thinking, okay, defensively, I understand you want to have a good defensive team, or get a player that's a two-way player. But when you play the teams like the Houstons and the Golden States down the road, or the Celtics, you got to score more than 100 points.
Yeah.
And about 90 points. Yeah.
Looking at Colin Sexton's measurements from the combine, he's 6'1.5" with shoes on. His wingspan though is 6'7.25" which that's actually pretty good. It's pretty, for a guy who's 6'1.5".
Right.
Weighs 183 pounds. 5.6% body fat. He's a skinny guy.
Right.
Anyway, what does it say? His hands, 5.6% body fat on his frame, with hands that are 8.5 inches wide and 8.25 inch long. So he's long.
Right.
He's short
Right.
in height, but he's long arms. Like Frank, has a 7-foot wingspan, but he's 6'5".
Well, that's good. That's good. That help him on defense. If he got that long wingspan, that's gonna help him defense.
Right. That's the thing about and Colin Sexton is a defensive guy. He plays defense.
Right.
He's a good defender. I kind of agree with you there, really. Taking Colin Sexton over Trae Young.
Yeah, I'll be happy with that pick, but I would rather go that route than Trae Young.
If that's where they were looking to go and who they were choosing, I'm still hoping that the best talent available is a long wing.
Right.
But I do understand that you need to collect talent.
Right, and if we get a wing, we gotta get a physical. We gotta get a wing that is, it can be a wing player that not only is a good player, but it cannot be, a soft player. It gotta be a player that you can see that he doesn't mind banging, because right now, like I said, we don't know when. Right now, I think the situation is kind of like with Boston. Is like, build a team, and KP, if he wants to come back to the team, great. If not, hey, sayonara. Good luck in the world. We're gonna continue building this team, because, like I said, we don't know how he's gonna feel like in a year from now, or when contract time comes. And at that time, I'm pretty sure all these Knicks fans are giving you beef about, why we get rid of. I bet you that time, if KP starts doing the moonwalk on the Knicks, that's when all those fans are gonna come around and be like, oh, get this guy out of here.
Yeah.
Right now, they're talking a mess, but when it comes to contract time, you start noticing, if we start hearing that the negotiations are not going as smooth as possible, that's when those fans are like, oh, wait a minute, what's up? This guy don't want to be here? Or get him out of here.
Yeah.
Who the hell are you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What the hell you accomplished? You know what I'm saying? You haven't done nothing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He ain't no superstar. You know what I'm saying?
He's not yet. And that's what I don't think people understand. People are already anointing KP as a superstar, and he hasn't reached that level yet. He has the potential, but he hasn't reached it yet.
Yeah, he can get there, but hopefully it doesn't get to his head, because I'll give you another guy right now, which I know is a pipe dream. But you tell me, if the deal was on the table, what if New Orleans offer you Anthony Davis? Would you not trade KP for Anthony Davis?
I'd do it quicker than I do it.
Forget about Karl-Anthony. If they say, hey, we want to get that pick and we want Frank and how quickly would the Knicks want to get that? And don't tell me he's not a better player than KP. I mean, that guy.
They wouldn't have a chance to get off the phone with me. I said, we'll do it right now.
You give everything in the kitchen sink, right?
Exactly. I said, let's go right now. Anthony Davis is crazy. Anthony Davis is crazy. I'd do it right now. I said, let's go. I wouldn't let him get off the phone.
No, what happened is something crazy came down where, I know we only fantasizing here, but LeBron said, hey, you know what? Give me Anthony Davis, and I'll think about it. I'll think about it if you give me Anthony Davis. Then you put a LeBron and Anthony Davis there, and then you put a couple of. I mean, right there, I know they don't want to. Right now, they're talking about we don't want to cut no corners and skip the steps. That's easy said and done. But until that phone call comes in, then you have to say, oh, wait a minute, we might have to change our game plan here. You know what I'm saying? LeBron said that he may come here if you can get Anthony Davis, or how these players are. They're the ones that get these deals done behind closed doors. Don't kid yourself that these guys with the ages are not saying, hey, listen, this guy said he'll come to play as long as you get me this guy. Yep. And then, I want to hear Steve Mills and Scott Payton about, trust the process. We're not skipping no steps. Yeah, you can say that all that mess you say right now because LeBron no one's calling you, but let one of these cats call you and say, hey, I'll come to New York if you get me this player. Then what?
Yeah, I know. And I think about that a lot, because I'm one of those people that's like, let's just build this the right way. But then I'm always like, but if somebody calls and the opportunity is right there in front of you,
what do you do, bro?
What do you do? Yeah.
Do you take the blueprint and rip it up and be like, hey, that's it. Forget it. Get rid of that process, that thing, trust the process crap, or that Philly crap. No, but forget that. Forget about skipping step. We're going to skip this step. Because, so opportunities only come once in a lifetime. You don't get Anthony Davis. They come like one every 20 years. You don't get a player like that in every draft, I mean, and I'm pretty sure all these. Think about it. All these teams right now that got top 3, 4, 5 picks. Yeah, don't tell me Phoenix or one of these teams at the top would not consider if that phone call came in. Like, hey, would you take an Anthony Davis? Would you take a Karl-Anthony? They have to really think hard. Like, man, you know what? Because when you drafting a player, you drafting a potential, right? You don't know what this guy's gonna be.
Right. You don't know.
Right, you don't know until they come into the league. But Anthony Davis, he's already here. You already know what he can do.
Yep.
And how old is Anthony Davis? Like 27?
I think he's younger than that.
Wow.
I think he's younger than that.
Oh my God, man! You know what? Take my money. Take my money.
Anthony Davis, he just turned 25 in March.
Oh, dude, take my money. Where's the check? If I'm Jim Dolan, where's the check? What's the check?
Right.
Where do I sign? Give me I'll sign right now.
Yeah. Hey, Ron, man, I appreciate the call, man. Always.
No problem.
Always love the call. And I know we got some people in here. I know BN wants to get at me about this KP thing, but I'm going to give him a chance to call in. If he wants to call in, he's got to call in.
All right, bro.
You know, but all right, man. All right. Peace out, man. All right. Yeah. Now, you know what Ron just brought up. It's tough. You know, because we all talk about how we want to, you know, trust the process and we want to, you know, we want to build this the right way. But if an opportunity comes, what do? Can you really say no if that kind of opportunity becomes available? That's tough. Because as much as I dislike LeBron, I know that if you bring LeBron to your team, you're going to have a chance to go to the championship. At least for the next 2 to 3 years. You bring LeBron to your team, you're going to have a chance to go to the championship. As much as I dislike LeBron, would I say no? If I was Scott Perry and LeBron had his people contact me and say, I want to come to New York, would I say no? And if I did say no, what would that do to my career if I said no? If he called right after the playoffs, and said, I'm coming to New York, and I said no, what would that do to my career? You know, that's a tough task. You know, that's a tough one right there. The Prince, what's poppin', bro?
Man, what's good, sir? First and foremost, man, let's dead that Trae Young. We can leave Trae on the board for whoever want that kid. Honestly, I really don't believe like he fits what we need. Like everybody say, I think it's smokescreen. I think that's just it's smart business. You know what I'm saying? We just play a smart business with showing, like I said, interest in Michael Porter Jr., Trae Young, and all these guys. I think they got a true understanding on what they want to do.
Okay.
I really think we're gonna more than likely end up moving down in the draft. I think we're gonna end up accumulating picks bigger than anything. I truly believe it. I think we may keep our 9 pick, but like you say, I think we're gonna trade Courtney Lee or one of those other guys to sneak back up in that mid, you know what I'm saying, 15, 18 range to see what we can do. You know what I'm saying, to help us out. Because again, like you said, I wouldn't turn down, you know what I'm saying, a Colin Sexton. But, you know, like we said, we really need a wing. And I truly believe the wing that we need is Knox. I think Knox fit the best profile for us, 6'9". The kid is 18 years old right now. He doesn't turn 19 until next month. So that's one of the big reasons why I think Knox fit what, you know, Perry's design and Fizz's design, so he can mold his wing into what he wants. Like he said, I want somebody long. And I was reading on Bleacher Report where they said Calipari and Steve talked for, you know what I'm saying, for a long time at the Combine about Knox, where he was telling Knox, like, man, y'all got to be patient with this kid. If you want him, he'll be a great asset for y'all. Because, again, right now, Mike Hill is better than him. He said it flat out. Right now, Mike Hill is better than Kevin. But in the next 3 years, hands down, no way in hell. He said, no way in hell will that guy be better than him. So again, with that being said, I'm thinking with that, let's leave Trae on the board, stick with, like you said, let's get us a long wing and let's just go fight and figure out how to play basketball without KP. But much like you said, I think that's a big thing too, which was the problem with everybody wanted Fields' head last year. Because again, he was interested in trading KP. What's the problem with that, Sam?
I mean, my thing is, I just seen Mighty Knicks, and Mighty Knicks, big shout out for the super chat. He just said KP is untouchable. See, in reality, no player in the NBA is untouchable.
It's business.
No player in the NBA is untouchable. People will say, well, LeBron's untouchable or KD is untouchable. I don't think they're untouchable either. Because if a player comes along that's better than them.
They contracts, but not because of business. Right. Not business-wise.
Yeah, I mean, if a player comes along that's better than them, if a player comes along that's better than KD, and that team wants to trade for KD, you'll make that trade, right?
You got to if you're a smart businessman. If you're a smart businessman,
right? If the Golden State Warriors went crazy, lost their minds, and called up Cleveland and said, "I'll give you Steph Curry and KD for LeBron James right now," the Cavaliers would do it.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't even let the ink wouldn't even dry.
Exactly. Exactly. So in my opinion, no player is untouchable, right? The likelihood that you trade certain players can be very low, right? The likelihood that you're going to trade LeBron James is very, very low. But that doesn't mean that it can't happen. I just don't believe in that whole thing that certain players are untouchable. So Mighty Knicks, no, KP's not untouchable. Because like I said before, if Phil Jackson would have traded KP to Boston for Jaylen Brown and ended up getting Jason Tatum as well, I think we would be better off with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum than just KP.
Honestly, and we might have ended up with a little bit more, to be completely honest with you. That's why when people were so upset, you know what I'm saying, Sim, when people were saying, oh man, Phil need to go, he tripping. I'm like, honestly, my mantra was with you. Like, why is KP this untouchable kid? Yeah, he's good. But honestly, like you said, it's a couple cats that I would probably, if we play a 5-on-5 pickup, I'm probably taking Cat or AD before I'm taking Chris Stapp. I'm sorry. That's just me. We play a 5-on-5. I'm just being real.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. And people in the chat are, telling me, making up crazy scenarios and everything. Okay, you're right. It's a crazy scenario. But it shows you on that level, that player is not untouchable on that level. Maybe it is a crazy scenario, but I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. What I'm saying is no player is truly, truly untouchable. Like, you wouldn't trade this player for anything in the world. I just don't agree.
So KP ain't worth, like you said earlier, and I think somebody might have said that in the chat last week. So KP ain't worth a first-round pick to Phoenix? Like, we wouldn't be open to that first-round pick for KP right now if Phoenix be like, hey, give us KP for our first round. What? Immediately.
I mean, and people, may think that I don't like KP. That's not the truth. I'll say it over and over and over again. I like KP. I really do. But I'm just being honest with what I see. What I see right now is he hasn't proven that he can be what maybe he will be, but he hasn't proven it yet. And so he's not untouchable. He can be moved. If the right opportunity comes along, and it fits what you want to do and what you want to be, then you can do it. I mean, it just is what it is. No player to me in the NBA is untouchable. Someone just asked, is the Greek Freak untouchable. No, it's not untouchable. If the right deal comes along, no.
No.
If the Warriors said, "I'll give you KD and our next year's first round draft pick for the Greek for the Greek Freak," Milwaukee might do it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. And people will turn around and say, "Well, that's just not gonna happen," or "That's just a crazy scenario." Of course they would do that. That's a crazy scenario. But if you're talking about players of that magnitude, then it's going to take other players of that magnitude to make those trades work. So it's not really crazy because it's going to take players of that magnitude to make it work. If you're talking about trading LeBron James, then you got to talk about someone who's on LeBron James's level. If you talk about trading the Greek Freak, then you got to talk about someone who's on the Greek Freak's level or above. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say no player is untradeable.
A couple years ago, Sim, the Pelicans was interested in trading AD. They didn't truly know what they had in AD, and the fact of, like you said, being open to the fact that, hey, this kid may not want to re-sign with us when it's time to re-sign. So we may get what we can get up out of him now. But AD told him, no, I'm sticking it out and I'm gonna stay with y'all. So when it comes to signing the contract, I'm gonna re-sign with y'all because, again, I believe in what's going on here in this Pelican organization. So much like you said, AD, arguably, after LeBron, is arguably the best player in basketball right now. So again, if the Pelicans was interested in being here in trades, why, like you said, why we can't be interested in hearing a trade for KP?
Right.
That's not asinine.
It's not. You're doing your job. I mean, that's what a GM is supposed to do. Just because you're listening doesn't mean you're going to make the trade. You listen, see what they have to offer, see what they say. Just maybe someone gives you something that you're like, whoa, and blows you away.
It's called negotiating. It's called negotiating. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing as men, Sim, we can always do. We can always agree to disagree. So again, you can propose me something and I'll be like, nah, man, I'm not even nowhere near interested in that. Nah,
exactly.
I'm straight. I appreciate it, but you know what I'm saying? No disrespect, but let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
Hey, man, but I ain't gonna hold up the chat, man. Like I said, man, I just wanted to wrap everybody, man. Stop hating on my boy Knox. Like I said, I know everybody love my kill, but again, I think the 6'9" light-skinned boy out of Kentucky is gonna surprise everybody and be that dark horse that the Knicks need, man.
Okay. Sound good. I know a lot of people are in support of Knox. A lot of people in support of him, and I love his length. And he's lanky, and he's got a lot of length, but that's what the NBA is about today. So
exactly, young and long. He fits it. He's young, he's long. He shoots the ball with, like I said, with a touch that's crazy, and that's the thing. Like I said, his grade game is crazy. His tray ball game is crazy. And like I said, everybody again, he's a 16 kid who's, you know what I'm saying, again, even I think at his high school that he played with he didn't, you know how they do, he didn't start really dribbling the ball to his senior year. So again, even with Coach Cal last year, his handles is a little wrong, but again, he fits what we need. We don't need him to run the point. We need him to come off a screen in Fizdale's offense and them slip screens and stuff like that and just catch and shoot. You know what I'm saying? And play D. And I believe that's exactly, it's going to be infectious. I think what Fizdale is going to teach them boys is going to be infectious. It ain't going to be, we got to learn how to play defense. It's going to be, this is a system. We love Coach. Coach love us, and we about to buy into this. I don't believe it's going to be no rocky, nothing when it come down to this.
Okay. Hey, the Prince, man, I thank you for the call. Appreciate it. For sure. All right, man.
All right, man. Always love, man. Shout out to chat, man.
Definitely, man. Peace, man. Have a good one.
100.
Yeah. KP's not untouchable, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah. Not untouchable. Not untouchable at all. I got a special guest for you guys. Real special guest coming up. I think you guys are gonna enjoy this next guest. You're gonna enjoy him a lot. Next guest, you want to introduce yourself? Are you there? My next guest. I guess he's not there. I'm gonna let him call back. I don't want to introduce him because I want you guys to hear for yourself who it is. So I'm gonna ask him to give me a call back. And you here? All right, guys. I got a special guest for you coming up right now. Special guest, introduce yourself, please.
Yo, it's Mark in the building. What's good, man? I'm sorry to neglect the chat and everybody, but yo, man, I've been here. Listen, man. I'm not mad at the speculations of wanting to get rid of KP. If the right offer is there, I would think about it. Not saying I wouldn't like the offer to trade for KP due to certain circumstances that KP's dealing with, because injury is it's scary. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing this cat, wanted to be traded or whatnot. I like Cat. But he showed me something in this playoffs what I did not like.
What's
I
that?
did not like.
What's that?
He had Capella destroyed him.
Mm-hmm.
Capella destroyed him. I'm kind of afraid of, because it's like he could play the game. His skill, his talent, it's tremendous. It's tremendous. But what scares me about him too is his dog, the mentality. He might look like he have it, but he could be. The way Capella destroyed him, he looked scared.
So, if Tom Thibodeau called you up right now, said, "I give you Cat right now for KP,"
he would have to add something else to that, because I think KP's ceiling is just way higher, and I think KP when he hope to God get it together, his offensive prowess is way greater than Cat's. And he showed some of that early in the season. It's way more impactful, because let me tell y'all something. If Jimmy Butler did not arrive to that Timberwolves team, they would not be in the playoffs. Jimmy Butler held that team together. Any smart basketball player watch Timberwolves this season is because of Jimmy Butler. He held that. He made their defenses, because Cat can't play defense. Cat is not impactful defensively. The way KP is kind of, I understand people say he plays like off the weak help, but he's great at that. That's what Tyson Chandler did. He was great at that. And that's what you want in your big. He's decent. He's learning. Cat feet is too slow. If you watch his feet, he don't have quickness in his feet. That's why I think KP's ceiling's higher. But I understand that people saying the injury, people are scared that, yeah. Well, look, check this out.
Mm-hmm.
What if Golden State never?
We lost you, Mark. We lost you. I'm gonna need Mark to call back. We lost who's Mark? We lost him again. We've been searching for Mark. We've been searching for him. Here we go. You back? You back? Nah, we lost him. I think we lost him. We'll get him back, though. We'll get him back. A lot of good arguments today. A lot of good arguments about. I fully accept the argument that KP's ceiling could be better than Karl-Anthony Towns. I fully accept that. I don't think he's better right now. I still think, maybe offensively he will be later in his career. I still think that KP, he's got to pick up his rebounding numbers. He's got to pick his rebounding numbers up. 6 rebounds to me is unacceptable. I don't care if you play on the perimeter. I don't care if you're playing fours on the perimeter. You got to pick them rebounding numbers up. Hey, Mark, here we go.
You can hear me, right?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Phone ass that phone. All right. Think about it. KP's in his 3rd year. He tremendously, no one would have had him doing what he's doing in his 3rd year because his project time was it was far beyond what he's doing now. So think about when Golden State said, you know what, Stephen Curry had a couple of, ankle injuries, but you know what, we're gonna believe in him. We're gonna believe in him. I just feel like if we just, cause what we doing now, we being old Knicks fans looking for the quick trade. The player he looks good. He looks good. All right, I wouldn't mind Cat, but I just feel like New York is just a different breed. I just like the way KP handled himself. Anybody that say he's a diva, y'all got it all wrong. Because let me tell you something about them European people. Let me tell you about their culture. He wants order in the facility. So he has to act a certain way to get that order because this organization don't have no order until now because I believe in Scott Perry so much. Those people do not play when it comes to doing their job because I've been around these people. I've taken care of those type of people. They want order. They want things to go a certain way. So it could better his game because that's all he talks about. Y'all listen to him, how intelligent he is and how he handles the media. It is golden. It is golden. So if he acts like a little diva, yeah, let him act like a little diva. He ain't LeBron James.
Oh, he's definitely not LeBron James. He's definitely not that.
Yeah, he has to act a certain way in this type of market. He has to act like that. It's only going to be he has to act like the best player. Because if he don't, I don't want that. I like his fervor. I feel like when he goes against AD, the DeMarcus Cousins, I feel like he's up for the challenge. Yeah, his body's not there yet, but boy, he's getting better at what he's working on. They gotta give players they gotta give them time, man. Because listen, we just started talking about AD. This is AD's 6th year. He didn't start making the playoffs till last year, bro, or year before. It took him 4 years to develop his talent. His body, it took him 4 years because when he came in, he was scrawny as hell. I just feel like, let's be patient.
I don't think anybody was saying let's go ahead and let's shop KP. I think the question just comes up.
If Timberwolves want to trade, they got to give me some extra with Cat because I just feel like when I'm watching KP, man, his length, his timing, he has great timing. When you put him around other players, that's what people got to understand something. We have no players. If y'all think Tim Hardaway is a starter, no, y'all got it wrong. He's a bench player. He is a bench player. All these players that we have are bench players. They're not starters. They are not starters. They will not start on no other team.
So why he's not averaging 30 then?
What?
KP.
What do you mean why he's not averaging 30?
Why is he shooting 43% from the field, 44% from the field?
He just came into a new role. He just got the mantle. And I told y'all.
Cat had the mantle before Jimmy Butler was there. He still shot 54% from the field.
That's because Timberwolves was vacant. They didn't have talent. So of course he's gonna be the man.
But what I'm saying is he still shot 54% from the field. Still shot about 37% from three. Right. Even though he didn't have that talent, just like KP doesn't have talent. Because KP can't hit the post. Until KP hits the post, he's not gonna average. He's probably won't be over 50% shooting until he can ball in the post.
Simeon, he has to find Simeon. You can't. This is what Cat's 3rd year, right? This is Cat's 3rd year.
They're both in their 3rd year.
This is 3rd year, right?
They're both in their 3rd year.
All right.
Yep.
This is the difference between him and KP. Cat was able to find his spots quicker than KP because guess who KP was playing with? And guess who was in his spot? Carmelo for those 2 years.
Okay.
Carmelo was in his spot 2 years. I swear to God, if Carmelo was playing with Cat will be in the same dilemma The fact that we had Melo on that team for 2 years, because if KP would have came in, if he would have came in off back with no Carmelo, he'll be able to find his spot. This year was about finding his spot. This year was about figuring out how to score on a high level. He is getting there. You see the progress.
See, that's where I disagree. I think that Cat would have been the same Cat that he was as a rookie if Melo was there, because his post game is dominant. He can shoot it from 3, and he gets rebounds.
Let me ask you a question.
That's a big difference between him and KP. Cat averages 12 rebounds a game, which means he's going to get some offensive rebounds to put it back. You know what I mean?
Question. Because they totally different players. Would you take KG in his prime, or would you take Duncan in his prime? Because I think they're 2 different players.
Which NBA are you talking about?
I'm talking about KG 04 round.
No, but what I'm saying, are you talking about Tim Duncan's NBA or Kevin Durant's NBA?
No, Kevin Garnett.
Oh, you said KG. My fault. I thought you said KD.
Who do you think is more talented, Duncan or KG? Because KG is more talented.
KG is more talented, but Tim Duncan is a smarter player.
All right, KG game was not predicated on the post. His was pick and pop. His is more facing up. Cat is more post. KP is more facing up. He has to learn how to play the game. He's just learning to play the game. Cat,
to me, the only thing that he doesn't have that KP has is that KP can come off of screens. KP can come off of screens. Cat can't come off of screens. That's not his game. That's not what he does.
No,
but Cat he can turn and face. He can get it at the pinch post. He can get it at low post. He can get it from 3. He can even bring the ball up the floor.
Let me ask a question. It's not like KP can post, but it's his body development that we're seeing that is developing. That's his only only problem is him not getting pushed off the post. He's in the post.
But we gotta hope that body develops. That's the thing. We gotta hope that body develops.
Bro, they're NBA players, bro. You go look at Anthony Davis and what he looks like.
So we gotta hope the body. We don't know if it's gonna develop. Every player in the NBA's body doesn't develop.
This is what he's doing. Because he in New York, it's a different expectation than Cat. Because if Cat was here, we will have our problems with Cat. Just the way you have.
I'm sure we would. We would have our problems with him. But I think right now, Cat is a better player.
Yeah, but
he's a better player. He averages more points on a better team. He rebounds way better, right?
You gotta say something.
And people talk defensively. Hold on. People talk defensively about KP.
All-star and quality players. We're playing with bench players that are starters.
But this is what I'm saying. He still averaged 21 points a game. He still averaged his 12 rebounds. He still shot 54% from the field. With
22 points?
Hold on.
He
still averaged 54% from the field while playing with other all-star players.
Listen,
he averaged 25 when he wasn't playing with all-star players.
That is a fact.
He averaged 25. He averaged 25 when he was not playing with all-star players. When he was not playing with all-star players, he averaged 25 points a game and 13 rebounds a game.
Same scenario as KP. They was not winning till Jimmy Butler got there.
We're not talking about winning. We're talking about their production on the floor. And on a losing team, he was still averaging 25 a game. On a winning team, his points went down 4 points per game because he had other all-star players that could score. He was doing it without these all-star players. Now, of course, you need other players to make it to the playoffs, but he was doing it without them.
Let me ask you a question.
And then hold up. Wait a minute. But people talk about.
What was he projected to be? What type of player was he?
Wait a minute. Forget about projections. We talk about what he is right now, not projections. What he is right now, because he's already in the league, right? People talk about KP and they want to talk about his defense because he gets blocks, but he's not great on the ball. He's not a great on the ball defender. I see KP get beat off the ball. I see KP have a hard time.
Way more than Cat, bro. He is.
Come on, man. I see KP have a hard time guarding the three-point line. Man, just because he averages blocks. Just because he averages blocks. That's like a guard getting steals. Guards who get steals, so what? They can jump the passing lanes. That doesn't mean that they're a great on-ball defender. KP is not a great on-ball defender.
Right now because
KP is not a great on-ball defender. He's good. He's good.
What he's running.
KP is.
It takes time. It took Steph Curry 5 years.
But I'm not saying it doesn't. See, you're not listening. You're not listening to what I'm saying. You're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying right now, today, people compare him to Cat and say, well, Cat can't play defense. But KP is not a great defender either. He's good. He's okay. Just because he gets blocks does not make him a great defender. As a matter of fact, you end your defense. A team, we're talking about team defense here. Hold on, whoa, wait a minute. A team, when we're talking about team defense, a team ends their defense with a rebound. KP averages 6 rebounds a game at 7'3". 6 rebounds a game at 7'3".
Yeah, Dirk is 7 feet. He averaged 6 rebounds for his career. And look
he's not Dirk. He's not Dirk. We're talking about KP. We're talking about KP. KP should be averaging way more than 6 rebounds a game. At least give me 8. At least give me 9. You end your defense, and we're talking about a team game. We're talking about team defense. You end your defense with a rebound. So only half the time. 6 rebounds a game. Other people is ending it for us. Just because you get 2 blocks, does not mean you're a great defender.
Right, let me ask you a question.
And Cat gets 1.5 blocks a game anyway. All right, so KP gets 1 more block a game.
So let me ask you a question. Why when Jimmy Butler got injured, they went on like a 10-game losing streak? Do you realize they was not playing defense? Do you realize they was horrible on defense?
The Knicks went on a 10-game losing streak with KP.
They couldn't guard it. They front men could not guard it.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, you lost an all-star. I get that. You lost an all-star. I get that. I get that.
I feel like just like what Tony Crow said, I feel like Cat Max a little further than what he's going to be what he is right now.
We'll see. We'll see. But this is, I'm not going to say he'll be what he is right now. He's only 22 years old. He's still going to get better.
He's only 22 and was projected as a projected player. So his time of development is way ahead of schedule to what they had coming in the draft.
Karl-Anthony Towns is still going to get better. Maybe KP does have a higher ceiling. Maybe.
If you'd have gave me Jimmy Butler to change life in New York, it would have been a little. KP stats would have been a little better because he's playing with Jimmy Butler and a little more talent than
I disagree because KP gets his ass beat when he's out there because he's not strong. He gets thrown to the ground.
And Cat could not even score.
He gets thrown to the ground.
Playoff season. Do you realize?
All right, that's the first time in the playoffs. You can't even talk about that because KP hasn't been in the playoffs. You don't know what KP will do. You don't know what KP will do in the playoffs. If KP was in the playoffs this year and they played Boston,
you must be drunk that you think that the Timberwolves made it to the playoffs because of Cat. You must be drunk because it was Jimmy Butler.
He wasn't part of it. He wasn't part of it. He wasn't part of it.
We gotta stop looking at Cat.
21 points and 12 rebounds a game. That wasn't part of it. Come on, man. You crazy. 21 points and 12 rebounds a game. He wasn't part of the reason they went to the playoffs.
Bro, they got put in different situations, bro. You cannot compare those two. They're
so why are you talking about Cat's playoffs then? So why are you talking about the playoffs? KP hasn't been in the playoffs. We don't know what he'll do.
Listen, you're talking about Cat.
We don't know what he'll do.
The main reason why the Timberwolves.
I didn't say he was the main reason. You putting words in my mouth. I didn't say anything about that was the main reason.
Look, you're making it seem like Cat is way better than KP.
I never said way better. I said, but I think he's better. I think he's better. I think he's better.
Yo.
I think he is better.
You give KP. I don't want Lance Thomas on my team with KP. I don't want who's that point guard? Jarrett Jack. Come on, son. Come on. You cannot even compare.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Teams. No, you can't. Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. Then KP need to average 30 then. Step up your game and average 30 then. Next year, when he comes back fully healthy, he needs to drop 30
then. You
then.
don't have to average 30 to be an effective player because
he must because he can't rebound the ball.
Bro,
he don't rebound the ball. What else is he doing? He's getting blocked. Hold up. KP does not get assists.
30 points in his career. You tell me that.
Wait a minute. Check this out. KP does not get assists. He does not rebound the basketball. All he does is score and get blocks.
Bro, he just got put in the position as the man.
Come on, man. He doesn't even look to try to get assists. He don't even look to try to get assists.
Yo, bro, it's different when you're playing with someone
Right.
that's holding his spot.
Right. But it would also be, he wasn't playing with someone else holding the spot this year.
He would understand the game a little more.
Tell me how many times KP really looked to try to distribute the ball.
And KP got thrown in the fire. He will learn as quick as Cat did. That is the difference. What Porzingis is doing right now, what Porzingis is developing right now, there'll be teams lining up for KP.
We'll see. Let him come back. Let him come back from his injury. That's another reason why I would make the trade right now. We don't even know what he's going to be when he comes back from his injury.
We don't know. That's
exactly.
Why I said.
Exactly. We don't know, but we know. We know what Towns would be though.
Porzingis thing, I think they're right there.
I think Karl-Anthony Towns is above him. I think Towns is past him.
Not the way you're explaining it right now. No.
I never said how far. What I'm saying is, people say Towns don't play defense. I'm saying KP is not a great defender either on the ball. He gets blocked. That doesn't make him a great defender on the ball.
But that's part of
right? To me, it's offset. To me, that's offset. He can't guard the post.
Let me ask you a question. Look at Capella right now.
Okay.
He's one of the greatest help rim defenders right now in the league right now.
Right.
What's wrong with that?
But he can also play on the ball defense with other centers backing him down. KP can't right now. KP will get blown out the post. KP gets blown out the post.
All right.
He gets blown out the post.
Let me ask you a question. When Patrick Ewing got drafted, right? How long did it take for him to develop a jump shot? Because he had no jump shot coming into the league.
Listen, I'm not talking about him developing. We know that he's going to develop. My argument right now is people say, well, the main reason people say they wouldn't trade KP for Towns is because Towns' defense is horrible. That's what they say.
Oh, no.
Right? Because
part of it. No,
that's what people say. People say his defense is horrible, and I'm like, his defense isn't horrible.
Honestly, on some other ish, it is awful. Like it is when you watch him play sometimes. It is awful. It is because sometimes when you watch
I've watched the guy play. It's not. I'm not saying he's a great defender, but my argument back at that is that KP is not a great defender either. Just because he gets blocks does not make him a great defender.
Simeon, he plays the pick and roll way better than Karl.
But he does not. KP can't. So what? I don't care about that because it's off the ball.
It's just like this.
I'm talking about on-ball defense. I'm glad that he averages 3 blocks a game. I'm glad that other guards can average 2 steals a game. That's great. But I'm talking about on the ball. On the ball defense.
What made us love KP when he arrived?
Look, on the ball.
What was the first thing when KP stepped on the floor?
It wasn't his on-ball defense.
What did we love when he arrived?
It wasn't on-ball defense.
It was defense though, right?
It wasn't it was blocks. It was blocks. People love that he gets blocks off the ball. And that's great because you need that. You need someone to help protect the rim. Listen, you need that. You need someone to help protect the rim. But what I'm saying is he's not this all-world ball stopper. He has a hard time guarding the post because he's skinny. Right? Because he's not strong yet.
Besides Rudy Gobert, I don't think no one plays the rim better than Rudy Gobert.
But what I'm saying about KP, he has a hard time guarding the post because he's not strong yet. He does not guard the 3-point line that good.
That's the only thing with him.
Listen, he does not guard the 3-point line that good. And he's not exceptional on the ball. He's okay.
That's why it looks bad because we have no defenders on our team. We have none. When you strip down and look at the roster of our team, it is freaking bench players to the galore. Some of them third string. We're playing with third string players.
What does that have to do with KP guarding on the ball?
Bro, it's a team game. We have to have guards that can guard. He can't.
I'm talking about Kristaps Porzingis guarding his man one-on-one right in front of him. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about him guarding his ball. He's okay. He's not great. He's okay.
To me, he's better than Cat though. Just in that area, he's better than Cat. That's all I'm saying.
He's not better than Cat in the post. I mean, they got things that offset each other. They got things that offset each other defensively.
On the offensive end.
Hey, they got
over Kristaps Porzingis. But when it comes to moving your
and rebounding, which is part of your team defense, they got things that offset each other. But defensively, they got things that offset each other. Offensively, I think Cat is ahead of Kristaps Porzingis, and rebounding, he's definitely ahead of him.
Check this. I agree with you. Cat is offensively polished. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He had that since college. He had that since coming in. It's just New Jersey in him when you watch him. But KP been injured since July from averaging 22 points. Why is Cat only averaging 22 points?
Because he's got other stars on the team that's taking shots away from him. He's averaging 22 points a game on 54% shooting.
All right. And that's my problem with Cat.
42% from three.
Listen, that's my problem with Cat, because in the playoffs, it was his time to ask for the ball. He was not asking for the ball. Capella was taking him off the block.
Okay.
Capella just listen.
But hey, just like you say about KP, he needs time to develop too. He's the same age.
Okay, now you get my argument.
No. But what I'm saying, I never argued about that. I never argued about that. I never ever said that KP didn't need time to develop.
I'm just saying I understand the injury. I understand the injury with KP. That is very big for us, because if he don't come back stronger than ever, that's gonna set us back really bad. But if someone offers us a good damn trade, I will think about it. Now, one more before I go off. Before I come off.
All right. Yeah, let's move on from that. We're never gonna come to an agreement. I mean, I think we agree and don't agree.
50, because I'm afraid of a team getting him, and then that team just uses this man as what I think he can be.
Okay.
That's what
I feel you. I feel you.
50-50. I'm not mad of taking Cat, but it's 50-50 because it's something about this kid that I like how he handles the ball.
And look, I'm not mad at keeping KP. I love KP. I want him to be on the team. I'm just saying.
Right. So let's talk about the draft that's about to come right now.
Okay, let's talk about it.
I hear everybody talking about Trae Young and everything, and I'm avid of I would take him, right?
Okay.
I don't know. Let me ask you a question, Simeon. Do you like Wendell Carter?
I haven't seen much of him. I don't know.
To me, he is a world-class athlete, and I feel just him playing Duke, and he had to share it with thing. What's Duke's name? That's gonna be third pick.
Oh, Marvin Bagley. Yeah, Marvin Bagley.
I looked at his player what do you call that shit where you on the floor at an amount of certain time? Your player efficiency.
Okay. Yeah.
If he was the feature guy, he would average about 20 and 13 in college. I'm looking at what he did playing behind Bagley. I feel like he translates to the pros right now. If you watch his body, if you watch how he plays the game, it's a little bit remind me of Tim Duncan, just the subtleness to his game. Now, I know we need wings. Right. I know we need wings, right? But on God, I just feel like this Trae Young guy, I know his size. Everybody say you take Colin Sexton over him. Y'all are drunk because guess what? You don't average 28 and 8 assists in college. That ain't a fluke. Colin Sexton remind me of another John Wall that can't shoot. I don't want a guard that can't shoot the ball. We don't need that. We don't need that. And Trae Young, his passing ability, you can't teach that. And I would rather that a lot more than anything else. But that's what we need. We need guards that know how to use the pick and roll. And he's the best in this draft that does that. He never stops his drive. He got a lot of a national. If you watch his game, he has a lot of national. He's small. When Nash was small, and look how dominant he was.
Okay.
Now,
So you want to take so you want
if
Trae
he's
Young.
available, listen, if he's available at 9, yes, I'm taking him without even breathing.
Okay, so who you taking if he's not available?
I was thinking about Michael Porter Jr., but he remind me a lot of his game remind me of Blake Griffin. I don't like I don't like
that's
players
good.
like that. I don't like players like that.
You know,
I really don't.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. I kind of agree with you there.
You know what he is? He's decent at everything, but no. And that back, no. I'm not taking. Listen, we don't have time to take any injury players. Please, we have one dealing with one right now. And just to think about Michael Porter in that back, no.
That's true.
So it's either Trae Young. I'm really loving Wendell Carter. It's just something about him just intrigues me. If you go back and watch him, take your time and just watch this kid. He's good. Kevin Knox, no, I don't want him. He don't have foot speed. He sucks. I don't like him. He needs to stay in college for two years. He's not. No. He's inconsistent. Just because he's 6'10", that don't mean he's gonna be great. That whole Kentucky team needs to stay in school. They was not good. They didn't have not one star on that team, and Kentucky always has a star on the team. Now what I'm thinking, because you heard Clippers want to come down in the draft, right?
They want to move down. They want
want Michael Porter Jr. And he's going to be around 8'9". He is going to be around 8'9". And they have 11 and 13.
Yeah, 12 and 13. They got 12 and 13.
12 and 13. So I'm thinking about, we can't. That's the only way I would take Knox if we traded the 9th pick for that. If Trae Young ain't there, because I would take Trae Young because I want a point guard like that, and he'll be able to play with Frank because you know why? Because Trae Young is interchangeable. He could play off the ball. Because y'all got to remember something. He can shoot. He don't need the ball. That's what makes Stephen Curry great. That's why KD could play with Stephen Curry. Because if Stephen Curry's ball dominant, KD would not come and play with him, and that's a fact.
Okay.
I like Trae Young, shooting ability, his passing ability. It's better to have multiple players on the floor as point guard that can pass the ball. Because when you have Porzingis is a willing passing big man, and he plays in the flow of the game. If y'all watch, he's not back to the basket. He's more about pick and pop. He's more about moving without the ball. And you need a point guard. Frank could play. He's a playmaker. When he can't, like I said, when he got drafted, he's drafted as a playmaker, defensive player. He's more of a playmaker. He's gonna be a great standstill jump shooter. He has to learn how to go to the. He has to learn how to go to the rack. But I'm taking Trae Young. If I can't either get Wendell Carter, because I really like that kid, and he's gonna go high because there's something special about him.
Okay. Hey, Mark, man, it's glad to have you. Nice to have you back.
Man, Saturday, when I was hearing some of this nonsense about Colin says it's better than Trae Young, y'all drunk, man. I don't know what college basketball game y'all was watching.
All right,
that man, he's 6'1" and can't shoot.
Hey, all right. Hey, Mark, I got to get on, man. And I know I got some other people that want to call in. All right.
Yo, sorry for being so long, but shout out to the chat, man. I had to let that off, man.
Hey, don't be away for so long, man.
Nah, no, it wasn't my. You know what it was? My phone had broke, and I had started on my phone, and I just got my phone back today.
Okay, all right.
I was watching it. I was watching Saturday. I caught it Saturday. I normally catch a joint after the stream, and I watch it.
Yeah.
But Saturday really pissed me off, and I was just I was
yelling on TV not
too long ago.
All right,
some of the nonsense I was hearing.
All right. Well, make sure you give us a call back, man. Don't stay away for so long. Let me get some other callers in here.
All right, yo.
All right, peace, man.
That Colin Sexton. I don't want that guy. Get
all right,
away
man.
from me.
All right, peace. Who I got on the line? I got BN on the line.
What's going on, Sam?
What's going on, man? I know you're not gonna try to bring up this KP thing again. Don't you think we just exhausted it with who's Mark?
No, I don't think so. I just got a different angle. If I'll take 2 minutes to just spit it out, and you can say whatever you want to it, and we can talk about it, right? But just really quickly, right, with KP, the only thing is, after the first 2 years of both of their rookie and second years, I would tell you after the first 2 years, Towns was edging him out a little bit. But the third year, right? Thinking about the whole year, beginning to end, here's what I'm thinking. KP is more versatile, right? He can play within the offense and contribute. You don't have to give him the ball in the blocks and get him the ball in the post and just sit around, right? He can actually play within the offense if he has a good system, right? They figured him out a little bit after the 20th game or whatever. But that was they figured out Jeff Hornacek's schemes. They didn't figure out KP. You can use him in a lot of different ways. So I think his stock went up after the first 10, 20 games when he was, shooting the lights out, getting 30, 40 points. That's what I think with Cat, right? That guy needs to be the focal point. He needs, or he's not doing much, right? Or people forget about him. He needs to play. Well, he needs to play off the blocks, right? And teams don't play like that anymore, right? When you're talking about, Cap, or KP not playing defense against the post, not a lot of teams play like that anymore. It's not the 90s, even with Shaq, right? Like the way Shaq looks at the game now, he realizes, he's like, dude, me or Barkley would not be as important in today's game as we were back in the 90s, where you can give me the ball, I'm going to back up my guy, they're going to double team me, I'm going to throw it out to a three-point shooter, and that's how we're going to play the whole game. They don't do that anymore. They do motion offense, pick and roll, and they play fast and they play with space. It's like the triangle, they don't do that anymore. It's become irrelevant, and the center has become pretty irrelevant. I think that's why Cat's having problems with the Timberwolves, because the Timberwolves are like, listen, man, we're not going to base our whole offense and system around you. And he's getting frustrated because he didn't get the ball much in the playoffs. And they're like, listen, man, Houston and Golden State are playing fast. They're moving up and down the court. Listen, we got to play small. You're not as useful to us because you can't be out there 40 minutes, 35 minutes a game because we're going to have to play slow with you. And just that's how I think, that's why I think Houston exposed them in the playoffs. And I think his stock went down right there, right? Because the NBA is playing small now and they're playing pace and space, and they're playing in motion. Like they're not playing give the ball and just sit around and let him try to create and outmuscle the guy. That just doesn't work anymore.
Now I agree with you with the way the game is changing. I definitely agree with you there. But this is what I think. The one thing about KP not guarding the post is important for the Knicks. And here's why.
Nobody's playing in the post anymore though.
But we got Joel Embiid in our division who does play in the post. And he's going to be in our division for the next 10 to 15.
Boston exposed him too. Boston exposed him because they doubled him up, and then he was shooting fadeaways. He was like,
listen,
"Oh shit!"
Listen. We're going to have to, just because they doubled him up, right? They might have doubled him up. That doesn't mean he couldn't. I mean, they're a young team that doesn't have the skill yet, right?
He wasn't dominant like he was in the regular season.
They beat him because they're a young team because it was. I mean. It's Philadelphia's first time in the playoffs.
They got some veterans, though. They got JJ Redick. They got some veterans.
I mean, come on. You got JJ Redick. I mean, he's a good player, but he's not the veteran that's going to lead you in a playoff battle, right?
No, Embiid is good. Embiid is much better than Towns, I think, because Embiid can play in the new NBA and fit in. I think Towns is an old school guy.
But what I'm saying
in the old school way.
Yeah, but he shot 42% from three. He can shoot the three.
But that doesn't mean anything. Right? So does DeMarcus Cousins. But that doesn't mean he can fit in the new NBA just because you can shoot a three.
So DeMarcus Cousins can't fit in the new NBA?
I don't think so. That's why Sacramento couldn't get anything for him.
So DeMarcus Cousins will not be a commodity when he's a free agent?
Of course he will, because he could put up 30 points a game, but he's not going to be a champion.
We don't know that. We don't know that he won't be a champion. I understand that the game is changing, right? But I don't think the game is changing so much that you're just gonna playing in the post is just never gonna happen again. You know what I'm saying?
So
Your
one
centers,
one of the NBA analysts and ESPN was asked that. They're like, listen, do you think the NBA is ever going to go back to the way it was in the 90s? Are they going to stop playing small? Is this just a fad with with the Golden State Warriors and some other teams trying to copycat them? And the analyst was like, listen, and I'm not saying he's right, 100. His word is God, but he's like, no, he's like, the NBA is never going to go back to that because they figured it out. They're like, listen, we need to go move up and down the court, take more threes, and do things the way analytics and other things are telling us to. And the Knicks are the same way.
Listen,
like there were times where the Knicks outplayed the other team, and then at the end of the game they lost, and you try to figure it out, and you're like, oh wait. They didn't shoot as many threes as them. They took these mid-range jumpers, which also is kind of becoming irrelevant, and that's why they lost. But anyway.
but see, I'm not talking about where the game goes back to just straight up you're playing in the post, right? I'm talking about centers. No, that's not gonna happen because the more and more teams shoot threes, the better and better 3-point. Pretty soon, you're going to have teams that shoot 45% from three.
And you have 7-footers that are more versatile. That's the new NBA.
That's true. But you're also going to have centers that can post up, that can come off screens, that can shoot the ball from three. You're going to have centers that can do all those things.
If you're CC Capella and you can run, or even Porzingis can run, like if you could run, yes. If you're going to get tired, like Joakim Noah, he plays the same way, but he can't play in the new NBA because he can't run up and down the court like the way they do now.
I mean, there's still going to be a need. There is still going to be a need for guys that can bang in the post because there'll be a point.
But not in the starting lineup, probably. I'm telling you.
Not in the starting lineup?
Yeah.
Come on,
look at the Warriors.
So you're going to tell me
Hold on, look at the Warriors, all right? The Warriors play Iguodala more, and then they play Draymond Green, right? But when they have to play against a longer center, just they'll throw in an athletic center for a little bit to play D, block some shots, and then they go back to playing small and then playing fast. I'm telling, at least the elite players are not going to have that anymore.
There's always going to be a need. There's always going to be a need for post players because it's the highest percentage shot on the floor. Now the game may change where it's going to be faster and there's going to be a lot more 3-point shots taken, but you're still going to have need for post players.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. Listen, I'm just saying it's not as important as it was in the '90s, and as a result, KP, who's a more versatile player than Cat, is going to succeed in the new NBA more than Towns, and he has a higher ceiling, and that's why I think he's better.
Hey, you know what? I mean, it's a decent argument talking about the ceiling, and that.
It's not just the ceiling. Forget the ceiling. I'm just saying in the new NBA, KP will succeed more than Towns. And Towns could put up as many numbers as he wants, but no team's going to want him because they're going to be like, listen, man, we don't want to give you the ball down the post to bang because that's just not how we want to play.
But that's not the only way that he plays. That's what I'm saying. That's not the only way he plays. The guy shot 42% from three.
Though. He doesn't play within the offense.
So you're telling me that you're telling me that he grabs the ball from the 3-point line and just takes it by himself and shoots a three? No, he gets a three from a kickout that's playing within the offense. He gets a three from the ball being swung that's playing within the offense. When he gets the ball in the post, he's not just saying, give me the ball in the post, nobody else does anything. No, they slide him the ball. Man. They slide him the ball into the post. Look, if he doesn't have a shot, he can kick it out and swing. That's part of the offense.
And the other thing you said about more rebounds or whatever, listen, man. Rebounds is a very weird stat in the new NBA because what teams are doing now, that's why you got point guards getting like 10 rebounds a game all over, because what teams are doing, they're like, listen, as soon as the ball misses, you guys run, you guys just go. You guys go, and we're going to have the fastest player in the court grab the rebound, and he's going to go like Russell Westbrook, and then we're going to get up and down the court. And that's why, all these point guards are getting like 10, 12, 14
Some of those point
rebounds
guards, they get it because they're good rebounding. What do you mean? You say I'm gonna have the smallest guy in the court go get the rebound.
No, not smallest. The fastest guy. Because what
but
they're
your fastest guy is probably gonna be the smallest guy, or one of the smallest guys on the court.
Yeah. Well, but at the same time, don't. How do you think Russell Westbrook's getting 14, 15?
Because he has a lot of hustle.
10,
because he's a baller.
A
because he's a baller. But if you look at the guys who's leading, if you look at the rebound leaders, they're not guards.
No, they're not guards. But I'm just saying that it's not the rebounds isn't as important with the way sometimes teams play nowadays, because you can get like a KD.
Dude, you got to get the rebound in order to get the ball.
Yeah, of course.
It's going to be like that in any NBA that you play.
Man, like the rebounds, I'm just not sold on rebounds that much anymore, because look at Kevin Love.
I got to let you go off of that one, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
Kevin Love was getting 15 rebounds a game in Minnesota because he was just padding his stats. And then when he left Minnesota, the dude isn't really a good rebounder. So it's kind of up in the air when you talk about, he's got more rebounds than KP, therefore he's a better player.
I didn't say that's the only reason why. I didn't say that's the only reason why. But I mean, one of the things everyone loves about Enes Kanter is that he can rebound the ball. Right? He's such a ferocious dude. You need to get rebounds in order.
He's a good offensive rebounder.
To get out and run. You got to get rebounds. And Kevin Love, Kevin Love is still 12th in the NBA in rebounding.
Yeah, but the only thing is,
at 9.3,
I just have a problem with
because
people,
he's played a different role.
KP, who's the best player in the Knicks, and disrespecting KP when he's surrounded with Jared Jack, the freaking rapper, and Lance Thomas. This is who he's surrounded with, and we're talking and criticizing the best player in the team when he's put us on our backs early in the season.
Listen, hold up. He put us on. Listen,
he did.
I don't care.
He gave us a winning record early in the season. When Hardaway was got injured and couldn't play anymore.
that was because people hadn't figured us out yet. That's all that was. And we had a slew of home games. It wasn't because he gave it to us. He was a part of it.
I mean, he was averaging 30, but all right.
You know what I'm saying? He was a part of it. And then what happened when it got tougher?
They figured out Jeff Hornacek's crappy system. Now, they didn't figure out KP. I mean, they said, listen, if KP gets the ball, we're not going to let you shoot over us anymore. From 15 feet.
They started roughing him up. They got up underneath him. They figured out, what. Yeah,
because they just gave him the ball, stood around, and said, "KP, do your work." Instead of setting up pick for him, he can do a lot of different things, but they weren't using him for that. They were like, "Here, KP, get the ball." 15 feet away and just create.
I agree with that. But
and people were talking about Ron was talking about
no player in the NBA. No player in the NBA. Right? No player in the NBA is you can criticize any player you want in the NBA because all of them gonna have flaws. You can criticize them any way you want. I mean, just saying that's part of being that's part of the game.
Yeah.
That's part of the game.
But the whole diva thing, I just don't know where it's coming from, because I've actually met KP, and the guy couldn't be a nicer guy, and I've never seen anything on papers that says that he's being a diva. It's just people reading some stupid article and making their judgments. Oh, this guy's a diva. And then the whole playing the five thing, nobody plays the five anymore, to be honest with you. Even the All-Star game, they don't even have a center anymore. They're like, listen, we know where the game's going. There's not going to be a lot of fives left in the NBA soon. In 5 years, there's not going to be a lot of fives. But anyway.
The game is going towards positionless basketball. It's
you
definitely
just need
going that way.
long athletic guys. That's all you need that can shoot and play
defense. It's definitely
defense.
going that way. But hey, BN, man, thank you for the call. I'm gonna have to,
all right, man.
You threw me off with the rebound. It doesn't matter thing. So. I gotta let you go off of that, bro.
It's iffy. It's iffy now, man.
It's iffy.
You can't just base it on that and say
I'd like
to
see you go win a game without getting any rebounds. So.
I'm not saying that.
All right, man. Hey, I'm gonna let you rock, man. All right, later.
All right.
My man being all right. This argument is I think we beat it to the bone, right? I think we beat it to the bone. Jaden Darcy, what's poppin', man? How you feeling?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Good. Go ahead. What you calling to talk about? I know you probably got a couple comments on the KP thing, but I want to get to this Frank coming back. You know,
well, I actually wanted to talk about that as well. I saw something.
Cool. Let's get to it.
I saw something today from the New York media on Twitter saying, Frank's come back to the States to have a private workout, and I think like Dotson and Trae and what's the other guy's name? The small forward that we've got.
Troy Williams.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were invited for a private workout. I think that's good. I think they're developing a chemistry between those guys and Fizdale early on. But what I didn't like about it was the New York media have already tried to use that against KP. I saw a few tweets saying, KP's, somewhere in Spain or wherever, and he's not in New York working out. And I think that's, people read a little bit too much into that. Like Isola's the main culprit. He really pisses me off with that shit. I can't stand that guy. I just wanted to say as well, like in regards to the Cat and KP situation. I mean, Cat's 3-point shooting went up. Like the amount of shots he took went up quite a bit. And I think that's in part because of the coach. He's a renowned player killer. I think Cat's took 4 shots less 2-point field goals. And his 3-point shots went up, where it was with KP, it was actually the opposite. Like the mid-range shots with KP actually went up, and his 3-point shooting went down. In regards to, I saw you say on the last show that Cat shoots 42%. Well, KP actually takes 5 3-pointers a game, and Cat takes 3. So, like, KP played, I think, 45 games, and he shot nearly as much as Cat from the 3-point line. So, of course, over a full season, he's shooting nearly double.
Oh, right. Yeah, I fully understand that. Yeah. You shoot more shots, it's going to be down. And KP didn't shoot a bad percentage. He shot 39%. It's almost 40% from 3.
I think, with Cat as well, his offensive rebounding went down. And I think that's in part the Timberwolves wanted to play a more fluid, faster offense. So I think they said, don't worry so much about the offensive, kind of come back on defense. And I think like with DeMarcus Cousins as well, he'll get the defensive rebound in Sacramento, and then he kind of jump-started the offense. He'd get the rebound, and then he'd pass it to half court, to an open player, and then they'd get the quick layup. So I think that's, a little bit of what Minnie tried to do.
And with the game, like a lot of people have been saying, with the game changing and becoming so much faster, you got to send guys back. Instead of having guys hit that offensive glass, you got to send guys back. You got to get them getting down the floor. Especially if you guarding a guy like Clint Capella who's looking to run the floor. You got to get back.
Yeah.
And in the West, when you talk about Golden State and Houston and all them type of teams, it's a little bit different.
I just think Minnesota had a way better team than we did. I mean, you look at their bench. Their bench is quite solid. You look at ours, it's kind of bit part players, like kind of players kind of, I don't know, playing for their career, like Lance Thomas. I mean, in my opinion, he's kind of playing for his career at this point. He's a great defensive player, but I mean, offensively, before he got that contract, offensively, he was awesome. And then we paid him, and now he just doesn't bring anything on that end of the floor.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like if we were to say to the league, Lance Thomas is on the market, I don't know if we get a lot of offers for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we get a lot of offers for him. Probably not. I think, if he went to another team, he went to a championship, he'd be valuable because of his defense. and leadership abilities and locker room presence and stuff like that. But you're not really gonna get any offers for him, or he's kind of the kind of guy that you throw in to make the salaries work.
Yeah, and you could possibly say the same thing for Beasley. I mean, Beasley's kind of bounced around the league, hasn't really found a home. He was playing for his career, and then did he go to China at one point?
Who?
I think he went. Beasley.
Yeah, he was in China. Yep, he was in China at one point. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, we've got a lot of guys, like German guys that have kind of playing.
Yeah, guys is kind of, and that's what Scott Perry's trying to do. He's trying to, he's trying to switch it around and bring in some good young talent. You know what I mean? That's gonna that's gonna bring the Knicks back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In regards to Scott Perry, I just wanted to say I'm not sure if you've noticed this as well, but I think we're collecting a lot of guys that kind of go about their business quietly. You guys in Miami, like Dion Waiters, that have loud personalities. I think Scott Perry is kind of collecting a bunch of guys that go about their work quietly. They just do the work. They come in, they play, and then go about their business. And those are the kind of players that I like. I don't want my guys to come in and make a whole bunch of noise. Like in regards to Cat, if you've been watching the league for the last year and a half, there's been some serious noise coming out of Minnesota about Cat and him not wanting to be there.
And not wanting to be there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that's popped up in the last 2 weeks like some people would have you believe. Like, this has been going on for a long time.
Okay. I hadn't heard too much about it, but so maybe he just doesn't want to be in Minnesota. Wants to get out of there.
Yeah.
Kind of like Marbury wanted to be back in New York or New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same thing with Wiggins. Before Wiggins actually got his extension, he actually asked to be traded out of Minnesota. And they had said, listen, we'll get some guys around you. And they actually made him promise to get better in order to get that extension. So he promised to get better, but now the news is breaking again that, he's done, like he wants out. And I think that's in part of bringing in Fibs, because before they brought them in, you didn't really hear anything, right? It was just kind of all cool in Minnesota, never heard anything really. And then they bring in Fibs and they bring in Jimmy Butler, and all of a sudden the problems have started.
Yeah.
So then I see that as kind of like they want to do things their way. Like, it's all about me. I want it my way. Don't tell me anything different. And then they bring in a coach who's, it's my kind of like Pop. I find him to be a bit like Pop. It's my team. We're going to do it my way.
Right.
And I think that's rubbed Cat the wrong way.
Okay.
And I don't want that on my team. I want someone to fall in line, go about their business. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, KP's not exactly that guy. I think he has a voice and has an opinion. At least his brothers do, or his brother does. But
yeah.
Hey, Jaden, man, I thank you for the call. I appreciate it. Where you from?
I'm from Australia, from Cairns.
Oh yeah, you've called in before, right?
Yeah.
I remember. All right. Hey, appreciate the call, man.
But before I go, just quickly before I go, just what you said just before, I actually agree with you with his brother. He really annoys me. I think people take what his brother says and they make it out to be, what KP says, because they think, it must come from KP.
Yeah.
I really don't like his brother's mouth. I think he's a loudmouth, and I don't think he has any business around the Knicks.
Yeah, his brother does get on my nerves. He says stuff, and he's young and he's like immature in as far as everything, how things go in the NBA, and if I was KP, I'd tell him, hey, be quiet. Let's just go about our business quietly. Yeah,
definitely.
Hey, Jaden, man, thank you for the call.
No worries. Have a good day.
Appreciate it. Have a good one. And let me give a couple of shout outs. I need to give a couple of shout outs to Monty Knicks. He hit me with a couple of super chats, and he said, I'm drinking Body Armor. He said it's KP's drink. Look, man, I don't dislike KP. I like KP. Just saying. I like KP. He also, he said Tony Crow was speaking facts when Tony was speaking. So Tony, Mighty Knicks, shouted you out. Was in total support of you. Siobhan, CP the artist, with another touchdown. KP said Phil should have traded KP for Lauri Markkanen, and you know what? That's something that we talked about earlier in the season, whether or not Markkanen was better than KP. He definitely has a better body than KP, stronger body than KP. Watch out for Markkanen because he could be the new unicorn. That kid is good. I like him. And then shout out to Siobhan. BN, sorry to tell you this. Siobhan said, BN, you're my guy, but hold this L. There's nothing much more to be said than that. And then shout out to Air Force One. Air Force Ups 1 said, good show, bro. Yeah, I think we're having a pretty good show on here today. Debates going on, and sooner or later, we're gonna get you guys on the show debating. That's what I'm angling for. We're gonna find a way to make it happen to get you guys on here and have a good debate. Have a good debate. We're moving in the hour. We're moving into the third hour of the show. Well, we've been on 2 hours and 6 minutes. We've just now gotten into Frank Dotson Williams, and Williams working out with Fizdale. Finally getting together, finally getting Frank back into the States. I'm glad he's back into the States. Just in time for the summer to get here. So hopefully Frank is able to get some of that street ball in that we've been talking about. You know what I mean? He needs to be here. It's good. He got a little bit of break. He got to go home, enjoy his family, see his friends. You've probably seen a picture on Twitter, with him and his homeboys hanging out or whatever. But now he's back in the States, and it's time to get to work. And I want to see him just out playing in an aggressive atmosphere. You know what I mean? Lee Sampson, thank you for that. Appreciate it. I want to see him play in an aggressive atmosphere. I want to see him, play in as many street ball tournaments as he can, street ball leagues, street ball games as he can, while he's refining his skill. His just basic fundamental skills. You know what I mean? Working with Dotson, working with Williams. I hope he's working with Moutier. Hopefully Trae Burke. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they will be able to get together and work together, build that chemistry. Although it's a competition. You know what I'm saying? Although it's a competition, hopefully they can build, they can compete, but they can grow together. Clarence, for sure, you said Knicks Film School gave Nothing But Knicks a shout out on the Bleacher Report. That's what's up. I didn't see that. If you can send me a link to that, please do. I'd like to tell Knicks Film School, I'd like to big them up for that. Tell them thank you. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I definitely appreciate that. So I'd like to see that. But yeah, I want to see. I can't wait to see some video of Frank and those guys. If some video is gonna come out, I don't know. Scott Perry and them, they seem to keep things quiet and indoors. But I want to know what they're working on with Frank, how they're, what their vision is. So I'm sure, they talk to him and they come up with a vision together. and what their vision is, what he's working on, and how they plan to use them. But I like the fact you got the young guys there. And these all guys, Frank, Dotson, Williams, they play defense. They're live bodies that can get after it. You got Dotson as an athlete. Williams is an athlete. Frank is not the athlete that they are, but is an athlete as well. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, they are... then you get Fizdale and hopefully you got Keith Smart there with them, putting in the work early, working together, building that camaraderie as a team. And then it says a lot. These are guys that hopefully, obviously, Frank, Dotson, Williams, that Fizz plans to keep. I think Williams really is a Fizz type of guy too. He's a live body, gets up and down the floor. I think that I'm glad they're working out together. I want to see what this development is going to be about. What they're planning on doing, what Fizdale has them working on, and who he has working with them. So I'm pretty sure, if they're working right now, there'll be some video that comes out. There'll be some video that comes out, and we'll get to see exactly what they're doing. But big shout out to Frank for coming back to the States and getting that work in, getting ready for the upcoming season. Cause like the articles keep saying, his next NBA season starts right now. Williams played for Fizz already, did he? Yes, you're exactly right. Williams was in Memphis. I forgot about that. Good call, Jay. Yeah, Williams was in Memphis. What was in Memphis? So they know a little bit about each other. And I hope Williams is working. I hope he's been working on that 3-point shot. Because he's the kind of guy we can need. I like him, and I think that he can be a great off the bench guy that can give us a lot of energy, a big boost. Supreme Ali, you say if Troy Williams can develop a consistent jumper, he'll be a nice piece going forward. That's exactly what I was saying. Yep, definitely. He'll be a nice piece going forward. He's the kind of guy that we need live bodies like that. We need live bodies like that. Elton Wilson, you say Moutier is garbage. We'll see what Moutier is going to be. I'm very interested to see how he develops this year, if he takes his development serious. Now, the one thing about Moutier, this season coming up it's a contract year for him. So let's see how he performs in a contract year. You know how some guys do, that contract year comes up. All of a sudden, they're in great shape. They come back and they are playing lights out. And then after the contract year is up, they go back to be, I don't know. I question Moutier's desire and work ethic. You know what I mean? Yeah, I question it for sure. I think that, when he was in Denver, maybe he wasn't playing the minutes that he wanted to play. But if you're a professional, you stay in shape and you stay ready to play. And when he came to us, he didn't look in shape. He looked out of shape. He looked a little flabby. So I think that, I question it. Question is his work ethic and desire. Nick D, you say Moutier will get moved out. He has 2 years left. I thought that Moutier was. I thought that this year he was going to be a free agent, but maybe you're right. Let's check the salaries. Let's check it out. You're right. Moutier has next year. Well, no. See, in 2018-19, Moutier his contract actually is up, and then we have the right to give him a qualifying offer for 2019, 2020. Now, we can decline to give him a qualifying offer, and he'll be an unrestricted free agent. Okay? So we can just say, we're not going to give you an offer and make him an unrestricted free agent. So, it's kind of a contract year for him, I think. Now, if we give him that qualifying offer and he accepts, then, of course, he's with us for 2019, 2020, and then he'll be an unrestricted free agent in 2020, 2021. All right, so, yeah. This year is kind of a contract year for him. Yeah, and so we'll see where we go from that. We'll see what happens there. And if we decline to give him a qualifying offer, we free up $5.7 million for this 2018-2019 summer. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with Moutier. We'll see what happens with Moutier. I don't know. And listen, if we pick up a point guard, if we do pick up a Trae Young or Colin Sexton in the draft, Moutier is gone. He's out of there. I can assure you that. All right. Jabril Harrison, what's popping, man?
Yo, what up, Sim?
How you feeling?
All right, it's Supreme Ali from the chat.
Yeah, for sure. What's up, Supreme?
Shout out to the chat.
Yeah. So what's your take on... Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You got the question there.
No, I was just going to say, what's your take on the whole thing with Frank Dodson Williams and, our point guard situation? Just everything. Anything.
I like it. I like the fact that they working out together. I like the fact that Frank is back in the States.
Uh-huh.
This is a big summer for Frank, I think, with his development. So I think for him to get in the gym with those guys and Fizz and start building that relationship is good. Let me see. I think the cream, as far as our point guard situation, I think the cream is going to rise to the top. I think Frank will be here just because he's our guy. We picked him as a rookie.
Uh-huh.
But as far as like Trae, Moutier, I think it'll come down to those two guys who sticks.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's going to come down to those two guys, and I think it'll be. Listen, Moutier makes more money than Trae.
Yeah.
And Trae's already giving. Go ahead.
Yeah, Trae's on a minimum right now. Moutier's on like that rookie contract, the draft that you get when you get drafted in the lottery.
Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And Trae, I mean, I think Trae's making like is going to make like $1 million next year or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's giving us more production.
Definitely.
So yeah, it would definitely be Moutier.
Yeah, I really like Dotson too. Yeah. I really like Dotson. I wish he would have got more playing time this year, but when he did play, he showed he could be a real solid player for us going forward.
Yeah. Yeah, he can, and I think Dotson has a future in New York. If not a future in New York, a future in the NBA. But I think it'll be in New York. I think that Scott Perry is going to like Dotson. I think Fizz is going to like Dotson, unless there's some kind of trade and you have to include him. I don't think that they would hold him back from making a trade work.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to kind of touch on the draft prospects real quick, though. I think we should stay far away from Colin Sexton. And this is not even a knock on Colin Sexton, but I got kind of a hot take on that. I think if you look back on all the championship teams, even if you just look in recent memory, downhill point guards, those quick end-to-end point guards that just go one speed downhill, don't win championships.
Okay.
They don't. Russell Westbrook types, John Wall types. Those are just the ones I can think of off the top of my head right now that's in the league right now, but they don't win championships. Teams win championships with point guards like Frank. Not saying that Frank is going to be the best point guard ever. But they with point guards like him, guys that are playmakers, can distribute. Once Frank gets more aggressive, can get to the rim and get their own shot at some points. But mostly they're just the steady guys, the Derek Fisher types. Of course, you got guys exactly. Yep, you got it, exactly. Of course, you got like the guys like Steph Curry, but he's more play within the offense, and he's gonna get heat up when he heats up, and when he does, that's just a cherry on top, pretty much.
5 hour energy.
I agree with you.
Back to 100%.
Yeah, I agree with you for sure.
Definitely. I think every championship team has a point guard like Frank on the roster. Even if you look at Golden State, look at like a guy like Sean Livingston.
Yeah.
Just comes in, does his job, keeps the team afloat, keeps the team running, and that's all you really need from him. As far as the draft goes, I think we should look at, if we don't look to move up or down, I think we should just go ahead and just grab Mikal Bridges. Don't even overthink it.
Don't overthink. And I like that. I like that. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it too much. Don't try to get too fancy. I like that.
Yeah, just go ahead and grab Mikal Bridges. He fits the need that we have. Unless barring like someone who's not supposed to fall to us falls to us.
Right.
Like Doncic or Bamba, which I don't think is going to happen, but it's possible. I think Bamba can possibly slip to us.
I don't know, man. Based on his measurements, I think people are going to be drooling over getting Mo Bamba.
Yeah. I almost wish that footage of him shooting didn't come out. Because he was out there shooting like he was hitting consistent threes back to back. I mean, he looked like he has a consistent jumper.
Yeah.
But
he can shoot. And he's an intelligent guy.
Yeah, I've seen his interviews. I've seen him talk. Like he definitely has it. I think he's there, and he just needs to get coached up right and keep developing his body and whatnot.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be. Something in the NBA.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be. I feel like he's almost gonna be like the next unicorn.
He might be.
Yeah.
You never know.
So what do you think? What do you think we should do draft wise? Like if you're in the war room with Scott Perry and Steve Mills. What is your take?
I mean, I understand, but I do like the idea of getting the best talent available, but I also want to have people who are long.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I want length. I want length on the team. So I'd be looking at the best talent available at the wing spot. I would be. But I do understand what he's saying. We need to collect talent. I want to collect talent too, but I'm hoping that the best talent available is at the wing spot. I just feel like the 6-foot point guards, even 6'2" point guards with sneakers on.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to be outdated.
Yeah.
Too soon. And our guards are going to be long in the NBA. So we have a long guard in Frank. I want to try to develop him. You got a guy in Trae Burke that can score if you want. If that's the kind of point guard you want, you got a guy that can score. So I want to get a wing, a guy between 6'8" and 6'10", that can help you handle the ball, that can shoot the three, that can flash to the basket, come off screens, and maybe even play a little bit in the post. A guy that can do all those kind of things. But there are wings out there that can do it in this draft. That's where I think we should go.
Are you against Kevin Knox?
No.
How do you feel about Kevin Knox?
I've seen him. I've seen highlights of him. He's very talented. I think like Calipari is saying, he's going to need time to grow and develop in the NBA, but we have time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I think, at that 9 spot, I think there's so much talent out there. There's a lot of talent out there that it should be hard to go wrong.
Yeah.
Should be hard to go wrong.
I feel like it's going to be like last year's draft. Like, I don't think we missed with Frank. I mean, obviously we could have hit the lottery if you got like Donovan Mitchell, but I don't think we missed. I feel like it'd be like the same thing this year. We won't miss. Maybe someone slips past us that might surprise people, but I don't think we'll miss.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with
but I just like Mikal because of his 7-foot wingspan. I feel like he has a like sneaky athleticism too. You look at some of his highlights, he's dunking on people. Consistent shooter, could play within the offense. He doesn't really need the ball to affect the game. Committed to defense. You hear even his old coaches talk about how hard he works.
Right.
I feel like we should just grab him and don't even overthink it. He fits our need. He's long. He's lanky. He can defend. Yeah, he's 21, 22 already. Am I right around that?
Yeah, like 21, 22.
That doesn't concern me too much, to be honest. I think he could still hit another level in the NBA. I feel like I feel like his floor would be like, not a floor. I wouldn't say his floor, but like, I feel like he could be like a Chris Middleton type.
Okay.
Which is, it may not be a superstar, but he'll be a nice piece for us going forward.
Yeah.
But that's my take on that pretty much. I think that's all I pretty much have for you.
All right. Hey, I appreciate the call, man. Don't be a stranger. Call in when you can.
Definitely love the show. Shout out to the chat.
Appreciate it, man.
Shout out to Tony Crow. Shout out to Mighty Knicks. Everybody in the chat. I don't want to leave nobody out, but
yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody in the chat, they all get it. Appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, I seen someone just ask a question about who should we stay away from in the draft, or what small forward should we stay away from? And it's tough, if you're looking at around our spot, because there's a lot of talented guys there, a lot of talent there. I don't know what I'm afraid of. Let me tell you who I'm afraid of. Not afraid. I don't want to say who I'm afraid of. Who I'm concerned about Miles Bridges a little bit. Not that he's not a good player. What I'm concerned about is that he's a small forward and he's like 6'6", 6'7", but his body type seems like it's gonna grow to be a power forward. And then he's gonna be a 6'6", 6'7" power forward that's maybe playing against power forwards that are 6'9", 6'10". You know what I'm saying? And I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid. That's what I'm afraid of with Miles Bridges. That he ends up being like Melo. Like if you look at Melo is a 6'8" small forward, but his body type and footwork speed, his foot speed, body type, and all those type of things, he should be a power forward, really, Melo. But he's not the height of a power forward today. Most power forwards is like 6'9", 6'10". You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm afraid will happen with Miles Bridges. Just looking at his body size and body type, I feel like he's gonna grow to be a power forward and not really a small forward. Now, does that mean that it can't work for him? Maybe it can. His game would have to adjust to that. Yeah, Drew, you're right. He lost. I know they say he lost 20 pounds. But at a certain point in a person's development, just growing into a man, you can't stop. Like your body is just gonna grow. You can keep it chiseled and you can keep it in shape, but you might pick up those 20 pounds even though you want to keep it off because that's just your body's development. That's what I worry about with him. With Miles Bridges, I just worry that he's gonna grow into be more of a power forward guy type of player, and it may not work with the way the game is going. But I could be wrong. That's just what I get worried about with him. This is what I get worried about with him. But I mean, I think other than that, there's a lot of. I see Marty BN said there's not a lot of talent at 9. I disagree. If we look at, we take a look at these mock drafts, and you look at Sports Illustrated has us taking Mikal Bridges at 9. You gonna tell me Mikal Bridges is not talented? He's a talented player. 21 years old, 210 pounds, averaged 18 points per game for the number one, for the best team in the nation. The draft, NBA draft.net has us taking Colin Sexton at number 9. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really crazy about taking a guard. I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm not crazy about taking a point guard. They also have having us taking Base D up at 30. We should be 36. They have 37. I think we should be at 36. NBA Draft.net has us taking Mikal Bridges, and then at 36, Aaron Holiday. All right, 6-foot point guard. We'll see. CBS has us taking Wendell Carter. All right, freshman power forward from Duke. And do they do second round? No. All right, so the draft is gonna be interesting, and I'm sure we're gonna have a ton more debates. There's gonna be a ton of stuff coming out that we're gonna have a chance to talk about. Clever for sure. If you get a chance to send me that the thing from Knicks Film School when they were on Bleacher Report, if you get a chance to send me that link, please do. I'll be trying to research it up myself. I like to give them a big shout out. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. That's real cool of them. You know what I mean? I appreciate it. Tony Crow, you say, yo, Sim, if I'm drafting an undersized guy as Zaire Smith, he's super athletic with endless motor. If you can, please pull him up. All right, I'm going to pull him up. I know he moved up in the my allergies starting to act up a little bit. I know he moved up during the combine because of his combine numbers and the way he performed at the combine. Freshman from Texas. I did see some highlights from him too. He was he was definitely an athletic dude. We have it here. Let me rewind. Let me bring this back a little bit. Just a few highlights. Zaire Smith, freshman, long, athletic. And of course, those are the kind of guys we need. Those are the kind of guys that we want. These are the kind of guys that we want. Let's take a look at his measurements from the combine. See if we can check out his measurements from the combine. I'll pull that off and play it in the background while we're looking at measurements from the combine. Let's see. See if I can pull it up here. I know there's a whole list somewhere that shows everybody's measurements. That's not it. But anyway, you can see his highlights. The kid is athletic. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Okay, here we go. Zaire Smith, Texas Tech guard. Zaire Smith earned a 41.5-inch max vertical leap. Third at the combine. 33-inch standing vertical leap. The kid is athletic, without a doubt. Super athletic guy. It's kind of, you're right, Tony. Those are the kind of guys we want. Those are the kind of guys we need. Now, where is he projected to go in the draft? I think I just seen somebody mention it in the chat. Let's see where he's projected to go. Some of these places. 11, around the 10, 11, 12, he's projected to go. Looking at Tankathon right now, he's projected to go on Tankathon to the Hornets at 11. 6'4", 6'4" guard. 6'4" guard, long 6'4" guard. So you say, how about that kid Roach? He's a baller. I have to check him out and look at him too. I'll get a chance to check out a few more of these guys so we can bring them up. We can get our draft board back going. Now that we know who we are looking at or what number we're looking at, for sure we can get our draft board back and really start getting that going again. All right, but guys, it's 2:00 in the morning. I'm not trying to go past this third hour. We've been on for 2.5 hours, so I'm gonna get off now. You know what I'm saying? It's been a good show, entertaining show. A lot of debates. Oh, let me give a big shout out to Kevin Painter for the super chat. Said Fizz mentioned that finishing layups program in Miami. I couldn't find it. Who do you think it helps the most? It would be dope if we could surface it. Well, Kevin, it would help Frank, but if we're talking about finishing layups, it would help Moutier the most. You know what I'm saying? That's who we really need to focus on finishing, because Moutier doesn't finish. He has a hard time finishing at the rim. It would be Moutier that we really would need to finish. Teach how to finish layups. So, and that may be exactly when Fizdale said he can't wait to get his hands on Moutier. This may be exactly what he was talking about. But guys, I'm out, man. It's late. I'm gonna holler at you guys. I'll be on. I don't know when the next game is. The next game is. Let's see when the next game is. I didn't even check it. I don't like the way they do it. They're doing this whole schedule. Well, I guess it's back. It's back. Sometimes they have a break. So Wednesday night, 11 p.m. I'll be on. I was a little bit late tonight because I had to do some things, but I'll be on 11 p.m. Wednesday night after the Celtics and the Cavaliers. All right. So, guys, I'm out. I thank you guys for joining me. It's a very, very, very entertaining show, but I am not trying to get into this argument again on the next show. So hopefully we put it to rest tonight. Man, peace out. All right. I see you guys on Hump Day. Have a good one. Peace. If you enjoyed this show, please subscribe below. Ring the bell. Get a notification anytime that I go live. Check me out Wednesday night after the Cavs Celtics, 11 p.m. Peace.